Say there's no sound. There's no sound. Mic check, mic check. There's no sound. She says there's no sound. What about now? What about now? Yeah, I'm pushing buttons. Now she can hear. Now she can hear. Yes, she can hear. Can everyone hear the sound of the beat? Now you can hear. Yes, she can hear. I get a thumb up. 1, 2, 3, brown thumbs up. Oh, yes, she can hear. About time you the sound in here. Yes, she can hear. Pushing them buttons. What's up, everyone? How was that? Hey, Maria. Hey, Ariana. Look at Shannon coming in with the tough talk. Pushing buttons. She be pushing buttons. She be pushing buttons. Boy, she be pushing buttons. She be pushing buttons. Oh, pushing them buttons. Pushing them buttons. Can't even hear me. Talking all that shit. You see her mouth open up, but she ain't. Hey, look at her. What? Look at her. What? I thought I was tripping. thought I was tripping. I ain't been slipping. I thought I was tripping. What the hell, y'all? I thought I was tripping. I ain't know. I just got a flow. You ain't even know. I just kick it to the flow. You ain't even know. I can flow. Just give a hug for the goddamn show. You ain't even know. Of course, she said, I restarted my phone. I restarted my goddamn phone. I couldn't hear shit. I thought nobody was home. What's going on? What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Whoa, whoa. If y'all wasn't over there, I hit y'all in the community because I only had time to do it that way. I had to hit y'all in the community. So y'all gotta be watching that community board out there, right? Because I got to get this out so everybody can see. Because y'all already know who was gonna show up from the tree. Y'all already know. Made it about him because he wanted to contest some things being said. He got a whole goddamn panel over there. And he want to contest some shit. I don't know, y'all. The shit is crazy. One of my favorite words that I say, I don't know. But I'm gonna tell y'all, sometimes I will show up. And then that just so happened to be a particular live that I decided to show up speaking about all access viral, right? Ooh, felt like something was on me, right? I actually showed up because I wanted to hear his side pertaining to his arrest. And his arrest only, right? I just wanted to hear his side of it. You know, what happened? You know, how's he handling it? How did he beat it? He was showing, like he said, Scooby-Doo was saying, you know, he brought out paperwork to All Access Viral channel that he had never produced out here. So he took his shit to a whole nother level to All Access Viral, who has lots of subscribers and things like that. However, it's maybe his day ones or kind of like, you know, maybe was, you know, had then fell back or whatever because that whole chat took over, you know, well, not taking over, but the company was a lot of, damn near all of his enterprise people over there, you know, having his back on some shit. I wanted to hear about the damn paperwork. I didn't want to come see no goddamn book. I'm taking the goddamn stage again. He just always got to be on the stage because he got to go here. And everybody is a liar. It's like, you know, when does it stop? Yeah, when does it stop? Isn't his stage big enough? Isn't his stage big enough for the people that is choosing to follow along with him? Don't y'all think that his page is big? He didn't grew his page. He's got everybody. So it's like, okay, you come to Scooby-Doo, he's trying to obtain back who, you know, and what he came out here to be. He ain't gonna let that happen. He ain't gonna let that happen, right? So, of course, it kind of pushed all viral assets, in my opinion, and Scooby-Doo up against the wall because he's being noticeable in the chat, right? You notice somebody in the chat. So, hey, beautiful. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Maz. Hey, beauty is me. Hello, hello. And my girl, Harlem. I see y'all in here, but I got to get this shit out right now. We're going to do meet and greet in a little bit. I see all of y'all. I see y'all, but I got to get this out because shit was fun. It got to be funny, you know, at some point because, of course, he likes to come on with all his funny, goofy, you know, underlay for the overplay stuff. You see, I'm just saying. The month is almost over. Views. Gotta get the check squared away. Squared away. Gotta get that check locked in. Yes, it is right. So, unfortunately, if you have not caught All Viral Access interview with Scooby-Doo, AKA, that's just, it's not a negative name. I'm not using it to be mean or anything like that, right? It's just, I still go by that. People don't like for you to call their names and stuff. So it's just my fun way of naming people, and it is what it is. And I ain't finna, like I say, have any gang and shoot them up and all that shit behind, how I, say a name. Okay. Okay. So you say you think he worked with Jeff Fly Leaks? Who worked with Jeff Fly Leaks? I don't know. Y'all be knowing all these people. Who be knowing all these people? But I'm gonna tell you this. That's why I popped in there. I'm like, okay, he's about to read over some paperwork, produce some paperwork on his experience being arrested by the Federal Bureau. Okay. A lot of us, I know that I question myself as to who's behind pushing a brawl, a verbal brawl, calling each other names and I'm going to do this and fuck you to the Federal Bureau. That was just weird to me. If it was weird to y'all, put a one in the chat. The shit should have just been at a verbal level. You hit me, I hit you. You hit me, I hit you. You hit me, I hit you. We ain't never got stopped. Y'all got to hit the like button. There's 40 people or so in this chat. Come on, mods. Hit the goddamn like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I'm going to drop the link. You're welcome to come on this panel and say whatever you have to say. After I put my disclaimer in here, first of all, this live is not intended for anybody under the age of 18. And I repeat that, under the age of 18. If you have an emotional situation going on about you, this live might not be intended for you as well. It's open live. Sometimes I'm censored, sometimes I'm uncensored. So I guess I am. Maybe I have a little filter. Sometimes I don't have filter. I cuss, I do this, I do that, I do this. I have control over path. Nobody tells me how to lead my way and lead my life because I know that there's only one person in this entirety world that I trust and depend on with my life, and that is Jesus Christ. Amen in the chat. Amen in the chat. So if I'm doing wrong and whatever, and you let him deal with making me fall out this chair or up them stairs. Let me deal. Let him deal with, not you. But that's why I went over there. Hit the button, hit the like button. Y'all over here. We're gonna get the hotline open. Let me see how much battery I got on my phone. We're gonna drop that 608-239-0765 in the chat. In about 10 minutes, we could drop that. But I went over there. Let me see. Do I got my shit? 30. Hold on, y'all. Gotta get quarterback, bring my charger. But that's why I went over there. How many of y'all went over to actually hear his testimony, showing paperwork based off of his experience with the federal, as telling the people who were interested of the knowing part of it, what really happened, what was in this paperwork, how did it push to this whole federal level? Now, we have to understand that there's always two sides to the story. However, it's going to be some shady, shaky bullcrap to at least one side of the story, meaning you call it a stretching somewhat of the truth. Now, if I can give my opinion honestly, right? I'm going to give you an honest opinion. When I listened to Booker, had he not been a clown, creating a twisted narrative off of paperwork that's right in front of your face, and also being a man of deception, a man that is known to lie, a man that actually wants to desperately be out on the front stage, in the big stage, up underneath Mr. Kelly name. Do y'all know that I might have gave him 1 ounce, just 1 ounce of, okay. But when you become and you make yourself out of a character that's not really you, it's like throw the whole thing away. Throw the whole goddamn thing away. Just throw it away. Just throw it away. No, You can't be you. You have to be a non-fictional freaking character. Like, why? Why? So, and keeping it real with y'all, that whole persona, it just threw me. It literally threw me. Like, you're fake, you're phony, you're gonna do anything for a buck, you gonna do this, you gonna, and so I was like, nah, it don't take all that. It don't take all that. So he shows up in the chat, of course, and now all eyes are pretty much on him. And you got to ask yourself, well, why is this? Because most people are now torn, you're the distractor, you federal government, because he get ins good with these people. He knows how to call them all up. He gets the numbers, he gets this, he gets that, he gets this. Before I go on, I'm going to give you another honest opinion based off of feelings. So there's no facts to this, but this is just my feelings. And sometimes you have to trust your feelings about what you're feeling. It comes from the gut, right? And then once it comes from the gut, it triggers up in those sensors to your mind. And your mind makes you think really hard to put your comparison together to come up with your own solution to what your personal problem was. My personal problem, when I keep hearing people speak about how he can call this and get in with this and know all of this information right ahead and this right ahead. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. My first thought was because, Greenberg was on the case at one point in time. I don't know if he's still involved in Chicago case. It's somewhere he just might be with, him and Jennifer Bongina's good friends. So he just still may be helping out with that, right? But I kept saying that, how else would this boy really kind of get a whole bunch of information from here? All this goddamn shit, right? I ain't gonna lie. Greenberg came to mind. Greenberg came to mind. I don't know why. Also, I had to take a moment today because I believe Choke No Joke was live today, right? Or yesterday, and he was playing the interview that Greenberg was having, and Greenberg was talking about, the two of the charges were, should have been misdemeanor, but I guess because they elevated them and escalated it over to New York, it kind of pushed it into the federal, but it still does not answer to where they're getting the RICO and, and this whole racketeer thing from, right? But he did speak about this darn videotape. It was uncomfortable listening to him because he was signed on as Mr. Kelly's attorney. So to have that type of interview, right, where you are coming out and just because questions are asked, sometimes the person that you done defended and becoming knowing of some things, Greenberg need this finger tattoo that I have. You got to shut the fuck up, because some of the stuff that he said, and I'm sitting here thinking, but you do know his attorney, Jennifer Bongina, is appealing this stuff and you're friends with her. So why are you even giving any more interviews? He's got to fall back now until and if he is still involved in, the Chicago stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, Greenberg, However, he went on to talk about the videotape. And a lot of us have heard Michael Avenatti talk about all of these videotapes. Greenberg went on to speak about that the believing of the double jeopardy was hitting Mr. Kelly based off of the 2008. Most of the world only believes that there is just only these videotapes from 2008. To hear, 96, the 90s or whatever, then put out, I'm talking about the trial of 98, then the action or whatever went down in the years of the 90s, okay? So, but I'm saying to myself, now, Greenberg, why would you answer this interviewer questions as if these tapes actually existed now. So I jumped back over to Choke No Joke, and Choke No Joke is playing, some information, and with Greenberg, and Greenberg's going in about this tape, and does it exist? But he never touched on the fact about it being authenticated or unauthenticated. Is it a freshly brand new? So Choke No Joke made a perfect point. Like, how can they take something from that far back, which was on a VHS tape, and bring it to life here in his 2019 trial to convict him on? Who made this tape better for them now in this year to say, yeah, and use the same female to come back against him? But back then, the female said differently, and the mom said differently, and it was a different tape. So I got confused with that one. I was like, wait a minute, Greenberg, you confusing me. Is the tape real? Is the tape not real? Is it authenticated? Is it not? Is it unauthenticated? Did you check with Michael Avenatti? You got, I don't know, yeah. Shit was crazy, right? Shit was crazy. But when I back to the story, and I think about, Bookham coming inside of the chat, and I hear him, with his defense based off of what the question was. What was the question, chat? Because most of y'all were in there. The question was, are you a federal or part or working with the federal government? Now, he did respond, no, he did. But he left it there. When you respond with a clear answer of either yes or no, in the court of law, there must be now some proof to validate whether if your no is accurate or your yes is accurate. Well, he took the no and jumped into some whole other goddamn phone call or audio or some other shit or this or that. So if you don't work from there, then all he had to do was say, no, I work right here, brother. But it was hard for him to do because Scooby-Doo ended up playing the audio with him speaking to Agent Ryan. Most of the people out here knows that there was an Agent Ryan, I guess, doing the whole investigation, I guess, on Scooby-Doo and being somewhere involved in Mr. Robert Sylvester Kelly's case. So there's the audio that Scooby-Doo dropped. And then, of course, it was Bookham on the audio telling Mr. Ryan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. So our SS asked him, hey, is that you on the tape? I don't know what part flew over the cuckoo's nest of Bookham's brain, but what he is saying is that he got to get out this shit, in my opinion, based on the fact that, damn, you had a conversation with an agent. On that audio, it says that, well, we gonna look out for you. Probably not those exact words, but somewhere in that same term. I got you. That's kind of like what it sounds like. So that all assets say, well, hell no. Shit, this nigga is able to pick up the phone and call a federal and do this and do that. Bookham really lost some cool points over there because he has respect and he likes Sylvia. So he really done lost, he lost all cool points. Cool beans gone out the door over there. Oh, that's okay, he says, he's gonna take his stuff all around to some other platforms. Why? Because Scooby-Doo got to a platform that holds a lot of freaking subscribers. Now that's a challenge. Everything becomes a challenge to him. You know what would have made Bookham the big man out of that instead of a sound? Just saying, oh, you know what? Fuck it. But he can't. And that ego got the best of him. And it's the same ego that's gonna tear him down. It's gonna tear him down. That's just my opinion. Hit the like button if you're coming into the chat, please. Hit the like button. So really wasn't able to hear everything that Scooby-Doo was reading in his paperwork because the pressure came on, not negative pressure, the anxiety pressure. He wants to get the paperwork out, right? But when you have those distractions in there, our anxiety kicks in. He's got to rush through it because he wants everybody to hear it. But see, a lot of us was distracted from hearing it. We were distracted. Okay. I know I got distracted. You know, I won't say most of you guys know because most of you guys probably have read the paper yourselves, his enterprise people, right? But I got distracted. So you couldn't read it all because you want to focus over here. I got to focus over there. I want to see what people said in the chat. I got to hear this. I got to hear that. You know, but anyways, Bookham left off pouting. He pouted. I'm about to go. Because now I'm about to go live and boy, because I'm about to tell the truth. What truth? We done heard every goddamn thing of rebuttal, of retaliation that you can name. What do you got? Some new shit? You got new material? You got new material. I was already skeptical of, let me see, when was the first time I heard him make phone calls and all this shit to people? I was over here like, what the fuck is he? It's not even Bookham for me when we talk about the phone calls and things like that, right? It's the people on the other end. It was the people on the other end because there is no way without a valid reason or you actually really being somebody, even I get public information. I get that shit, right? But public information to me is when you're calling up asking about some shit about your goddamn self. You understand me? Public information ain't free to me if you gonna call me up asking me about Jane, John, and Doe. For what? For what? I'm not giving you that. I don't care what. Company policy needs to change and it needs to be addressed ASAP. However, we also have this other set of crew that could be out there, like, you know, it could be one of his friends or acquaintances, I guess you should say, on the other line that's, you know, playing these okie dokie ass games because I can't understand it. I can't understand it. He put it on private beauty. I dropped it in the community and I was like, you got to go check. He put it on private. He says that he's going to do some editing to it. And I'm guessing his editing is going to be where it starts with Bookham on the panel and, you know, kind of say some things and right there. I think that the only part that you will get once he's done editing it is hearing Scooby-Doo speak about his paperwork and why he was picked up and how he was led to believe why he was picked up based on what was written in the paperwork. Now, it's another thing that a lot of us are really, really bad at as humans, right? We're so fucking bad at it. Just because a person is reading official paperwork and your name may be in it, it does not mean all the time that that person is on an attack of the person's name. It does not mean all of the time that I'm coming at you because I'm reading this paperwork. And sometimes we got to get past that. Bookham can't get past that because he's already ego is up. He's already on a vengeance. He's already living that when I see you on Monday, I'm going to get you. And on Wednesday, I'm going to get you. He's already in that lane. So reading a document or whatever, just like reading a book. If we're going to read Mary Had a Little Lamb, then the lamb should be popping up all times because he mad as fuck to kick your ass in the head with his hoofs. But he don't. It's a story. It's a story. Okay. So as a bonus, I got to throw this in here to you guys, just as a bonus, right? When the live went off, you click off the YouTube, then you got all of your stuff coming up your timeline, right? Because now I'm going to see, well, what's next? Well, you know, what do I want to watch next? I'm on my way home. Of course, there's another community post up, right? And I gotta ask y'all, I gotta ask y'all honest opinion. Please be honest with me. Please, I'm begging y'all. On this community board, it went on to say and stereotype other people about being foolish or stupid or this or this or that because you guys are listening to someone tell his story who has, here's what I want y'all to listen to, violated his terms with the New York prosecutors or pre-disciplinary people or whatever. Can somebody tell me who gives a fuck? That insinuation is, you know, it's a biased one and it's a hatred one. I'm going to dig way up and far up in my ass and I'm going to throw this out here. And I'm saying to myself now, I get it. Kaleidoscope is pushing her theories. I get that shit. She's angry. She's upset at the same time. But when I saw that community post, I was like, what in the fuck does that have to do with the price of tea in China? That situation has every much so to do with whoever the fuck put his ass on house arrest and didn't catch his ass when it went outside. That ain't got a goddamn thing to do with what the hell that man is over there reading off on that damn paperwork. But for some apparent reason, that was supposed to be eye-catching. I caught it, and I'm like, fuck do I care about they ain't catch his ass or anybody else ass? That's not the public job to do. However, it did end up being one of the public, or probably two, or maybe three, that got involved, allegedly, called these people up all through the fucking night, all through the day, talking about, oh, he's outside. Y'all might want to go get him. If that ain't some trick, snitching, hatred, egotistical ass bullshitters I ever seen in my damn life. And then they'll come back on the streams, on their lives, and talk about how they finna fuck you up. What you? That's double standard. Either you're gonna fight with the phone calls, or you're gonna nuck and buck. It's straddling. You gotta pick your fucking poison, or you're ending up being the one that actually look cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. Let me ask chat, put a 1 in the chat if y'all felt like that it was important for y'all to get involved, to call up these people to say, oh, guess what? Yeah, we seen him at the corner store. Y'all might want to come get him. I think he's breaking his probation. Who the fuck got time for that shit? Who in the fuck? That's their job. They got more money and more avenues to put all kind of people out on the fucking curb in the corner store, put additional fucking cameras up. Sometimes you just gotta let them do that's their job. But because it was such a beef going back and forth, these people initiated themselves a whole new goddamn job. So I saw that on the community post. That is pushing other people to think the way you want them to think. And that's not cool. Then after that, you'll get everybody and they mama pasted up in a whole goddamn kaleidoscope. Got y'all cross-eyed like a mother sucker out here. You got that person attached, that person attached, that person attached. Now, I want to talk about that for a minute because they keep saying, well, this is a setup, this is a setup, this is a setup, this is a setup. All of these people that has been posted up, including Bookham's, been in the fucking kaleidoscope. She's leaving it up to everybody else out here to figure out who did what and how they did it, and the association, and this person talked to this person, that person talked to that person. So they was all fucking involved. Scooby-Doo sat down and had some chitter-chat with Don. He's involved. This is involved. DJ had some talk with this lady over here. He's involved. The sisters are involved because they called up a Monet, and Monet is involved, and Sean Harris is all this goddamn goofy ass shit. And really, back to Greenberg testimony, who was one of Mr. Kelly's attorney, after he said that some people came in and got into Mr. Kelly's head and had, a little switcheroo going on up in there, where the public now decide to say, ineffective counsel. Okay, we went through that goddamn trend with Mr. Kelly and hearing who was right and who was wrong and who brought in who and who got who exited. Okay, fine. But Greenberg had the wow, he said a lot, but he said a lot, y'all. It's like, holy shit, sometimes, if your time is up and when your time is up, sometimes it's best to decline. It's not that hard to just not decline it. I don't have any further, anything else to say, because the more we say and the more we talk, you end up putting your foot in your mouth, or out of bitterness, I don't know. I don't know if you're still feeling some type of way that, people came in. If those people did, all you gotta do is look inside the kaleidoscope. She's showing you, and that person. However, Greenberg made that one clear statement based on him believing that he could have won Mr. Kelly's case, had the whole intervention didn't happen with Mr. Kelly and have him switch out. He said that, matter of fact, let me pull it up and see if I can get y'all to, let me see if I can pull it up and catch it right. So these are misdemeanors. We're not arguing about that. Not arguing. Kaleidoscope is still arguing about who set them up or who was all involved. I didn't see the Jen and Lindsay on the stand. I didn't see a whole lot of people she done posted up like they're not on the stand. The tactic is to just find the discrepancies or the legal technical fault within that was in these guidelines. The argument still should be, how did Mr. Kelly case it got manipulated by your federal people to be in a federal court? How? It's just but it's not that. It's if you post on Instagram, it's if you post on Twitter, it's if you post over here. I'm going to grab half of your thread and I'm going to post it up and I'm going to splatter your pictures all together, because all of y'all did it. All of y'all did it. A setup to take Mr. Kelly down. That is her subject, and she's sticking to it. She's sticking to it. I'd be over here cracking the hell up. I kid y'all not. I kid y'all not. And now she doesn't have to fight. Why? She's fighting a jerk. Yeah, leave it up to her. That's what she's saying. Fighting a jerk. I ain't got time to do that stuff. But guess who she sends off to do so? Old hound dog over there. Now, let me give y'all something to laugh at about hound dog. Book, right? He comes back at Scooby-Doo. This was on the community board, Yellow. I don't know if you caught it, right? He comes back at Scooby-Doo for posting kaleidoscope picture, right? The back page picture, the Oochie Coochie picture, right? I kid y'all not. Bookham, since he was trying to get at Scooby-Doo, because he's fighting kaleidoscope battle for her, right? I don't know if he thinks it's gonna be some cookie crumb left for him or what. I don't know. I'm willing to bet you 100 right now. He ain't even bought one damn cookie. I mean, if you call them cookies, because sometimes I can't recognize if it's a cookie. I don't know. It'd be too much, and too extra. Black folks just extra than the motherfucker. I don't even know if this is a damn cookie. It is what it is, but I'm willing to bet he ain't bought a damn cookie from her. I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet you that he ain't gonna know where she live at. I'm willing to bet you that she playing it safe on all fucking levels, period. She go laugh, she laugh and giggle with him all the time, but all that knowing where I live or whatever, that girl ain't letting her guards down like that. Nope, ain't gonna fucking happen. But this what he did, because he wanted so bad to address the Oochie Coochie picture, that was up during the retaliation from Scooby-Doo, right? You tell me that boy didn't come back and reposted the same damn picture. Yellow. I know you seen it. So a sane person would ask themselves, well, damn, dude, you posted my shit too. So what makes him any better than what Scooby-Doo didn't put? How in the fuck did that solve a problem? And why in the fuck is the kaleidoscope not having a fucking problem about that? How the fuck is it okay? It's not okay for the one person to do it because she dead finna go in on his ass, right? But yet then your homeboy does it too. I know I would have a problem with that. Dick nigga, what you posting it for? Because he sure getting him a good old look with that one eye between them damn legs crouched down and the gooch crouched open. Yeah, he is. I'm willing to bet that boy already had that shit printed out and on a 11 by 13 hanging up somewhere above his goddamn ceiling. I'm willing to bet you. I bet you a buck. So please. I just couldn't understand that. Because not only now, by her choice, and if she feels that she is being disrespected, right? Okay, then you hit Scooby-Doo, but guess what? You were just disrespected by the homeboy at the same damn time. Can I get at the same damn time in the chat? Because the shit fucked me up. Fuck me up. He ain't hide shit. He ain't colored nothing in. He ain't covered up the cooch. This our homeboy. He ain't do none of that shit. He just posted shit back up too. Acting like he was really going in on Scooby-Doo about that picture. That nigga was going in about that damn picture shit. That nigga was glad he had the opportunity to post that picture up and act like he gonna get rid of it too. Shit. That picture probably his damn screensaver over there, but she ain't no fool to that level. Nah, she can talk the game. She can talk the game. She talk her shit. She got her goddamn shit ready for Booker, because she gonna take it all the way back, allegedly, to square one when she first started posting this goddamn picture up in that damn kaleidoscope. Oh shit, this should be cracking me up. I'll be like, book, you ain't getting that shit past kaleidoscope. You might want to go and sit your ass down because she waiting on you do one false move. Just one. You gonna be all encrypted in that goddamn pit on that damn kaleidoscope shit. She already done put you up 3 times, 3 or 4 times. You keep it up. And she holding on probably on some dangerous material off of you. You think that woman sitting over there in that chat ain't shorthand and video and audio? You better not ever turn on kaleidoscope, boy. You better ride or die. You better ride or die that one down. You do it. And you know you wrong. You ain't even cover up your home girl. That's crazy as hell. That just shows how much you actually really care. And according to me, with my psychic ass, you ain't get 2 fucks about her damn picture. You didn't. You ain't get 2 fucks. You done showed the whole world too. So get over it and go sit down somewhere with that old fake ass. When I see you on Monday, I'm gonna fuck you up. And on Tuesday, I'm gonna be there too after I have Taco Tuesdays. He mad at the world. He's mad at the world, over really, like, because of who you are. If that's who you are, then that's who you are. Just stand on it. He done had close to 20 identities. He know the postman. He know the sheriff that went over when Sylvia went to retrieve her car, and the sheriff come up to the car. The police officer come up to the car. Oh, hey, yeah, what's up? Yeah, these people over here pulled up on me trying to get a car. I ain't getting no goddamn car. And Sylvia still say you owe about $6 grand over there. Now, I ain't the smartest goddamn cat in the world, but I know good goddamn well one of Black folks' failure in life is debt. And I know good goddamn well anytime I'm sitting out here watching this buffale on Bookham's behalf of shit, and he chooses to do this type of shit over debt, lost goddamn cause. Ain't no way in the hell nobody he should be out there singing to his ass, or they should be singing to him. If you like it, put a ring on it. Hell no. Hell to the no. Their priorities are all fucked up. This nigga say, nope. I'd rather fight with Scooby-Doo than to pay my $6,000 debt, so I don't have a goddamn judgment or anything on my damn credit. He rather do that shit. That shit's fucked up. We lost. And y'all hear it a lot out here on the goddamn YouTube streets on how we are lost. Like lost ass people. Ain't no way in the hell that I am about to make a choice of fighting El Negro. Nowhere. And I'm over here damn near 18 or 20,000 or 30,000 in debt. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? We're gonna have to postpone that fight. Give me about 3 years from now, because I got some shit I got to do. I got to clean this goddamn credit card, and I got to pay this car off, and I got to listen. I'm trying to buy me a house. I ain't got time for that goddamn shit. But see, some people just ain't gonna reach that level. Sometimes it ain't gonna reach that level. I don't give a 2 shit hoots of how much you done lie. Cause that's the first thing he said. You lie your ass off. I'm going to go and pay my goddamn bills. You can lie from here to Kingdom Come about that. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to take care of my priority stuff. I'll address your shit when I know my shit is A1. That's when I'm coming. I'm gonna do it smart way. Argue with your goddamn self. However, that shit was funny. Because you should have known, sitting up in there in that man bushes swinging in the tree. The branch broke, and all of a sudden he popped up in the chat. Here he comes. Because he's got to defend and he's got to point out the lies. This is never going to conclude, because he has his story Scooby-Doo has his story. Scooby-Doo brought the paperwork tonight, y'all. He brought some paperwork that he said ain't none of us have ever seen before. And that's what Bookham been waiting on. So now he done screenshot, audio recorded, and everything. Y'all watch how that twister ass nigga sit over there and twist this shit up. And what you should be doing is playing he should be grouping together all of the shit that he has done. Because the first thing they say to healing is you gotta admit to the shit that you have done. But he feels everything that he has done has been the right way, the righteous way. He ain't did no deceiving. He ain't never lied. He ain't did nothing. Now, I got to give a shout out to Scooby-Doo right now. I do, because all viral access asked him, well, what have you done? What about these XYZs in here? And this or this or that. Something else we gonna talk about. You know how Scooby-Doo responded to that? He said, I did do it. He said that on the record. And then he told you why. He said, defense. If you got people doing this and this and this and this and this, it will trigger what we were given by Christ, I think, which is one of your emotional states. We become angry, right? And when we become angry, we don't know how we gonna flow with it. Some people can control it, and there's some people that just can't control it or chooses to not control it because they don't like how they getting hit. It just comes off like that, right? Giving Bookham the benefit of the doubt. I could see his anger. He doesn't like how he was getting hit about the wig and the pearls and the skirt, so he was clapping back too. I give him that. So I'm always giving him that 1 ounce, right? That 1 ounce of shit, right? However, there's always an ending to a story in the goddamn story. And you keep dragging this shit on for. You did what you did. They got you on audio. You got them on audio. Okay. Oh my God. I think now, from what I am seeing in my perspective, in my opinion, because Scooby-Doo ended up back at home, reliving his life, this is not what they wanted. This is not what they were hoping. This is not how they tried to play the game of chess towards Scooby-Doo. So now they're infuriated. They're upset. And like he says, Bookham been saying it over and over and over. Gloves off. Hit the like button. Hit the like button over here in the chat, please. Gloves off. Why are the gloves off? What is the reason for the gloves to come off? Because everything that Bookham is continuing to hit Scooby-Doo on ain't shit but old ass shit. So where's the new stuff at? Because the old shit with posting up the hoochie coochie, that's old. The shit about him and Bookham going back and forth with the whole kid play stuff, that's old. Where somebody put something new in the goddamn chat. What? What is it? I don't see nothing new. He's fighting on old shit. He's also fighting based off of other people dilemma going on with Scooby-Doo. Has nothing to do with him. And this, trust me, I'm telling y'all some facts. It's usually the person with the biggest goddamn stomach that thinks that they are the baddest fucking cow out the fucking bunch. Got all the whoop talk. Let me tell you something else. Sometimes, well, no, most of the times, because we see it all on social media. When you come across a female that has a whole lot of yuppity, 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 yuppity. They can well enough defend their goddamn self without another person jumping in it, jumping in it and needing to fight it for them. That's just how I grew up. You got all that mouth over that shit. You keep that same damn engine car. You got to ask yourself one important goddamn question. If life matters to you, you plan on going down? You plan on getting locked up for that? Or you plan, hold, because last I checked, if it don't make money, it don't make sense. Me going down gonna cost your ass, oh shit, damn near 6 point something figures. My life is worth it, and I'm gonna make you know that it's worth it. And you gonna pay or leave me fuck alone. I ain't in this shit. But that's what I say. Like, you're fighting on a whole bunch of old ass shit. I don't see too many fights coming from the other side, and I didn't, not even with DJ, where they instantly was coming at Booker. I used to see Booker sticking up or jumping into something that they had to said or typed or showed a video or community on somebody else. And then here he comes. Yeah. That whole goddamn shit that went down between him and the cousin, that shit was crazy as hell. How many of y'all have actually seen like him really fall out with everybody that's been on the microphone or try to have dialogue with them? It was everybody. How many times have y'all seen them come back with an excuse that gives you the dilemma of him putting himself on top of the story? There's no way, no how. Are you serious? Every last one. Give me a break. Nothing is never wrong. I guess he's saying that he's never wrong, maybe because he goes to church. I don't know. Church don't save devils. Church invited you in. Church invite devils in there, hoping that they can get you to change up your bullshit, but it don't work sometimes because we use it as a cover-up. See, I'm the good person today. Fuck out of here. They say most of the worst people in church is hypocrites. What they say? That's what they say. No. But anywho, y'all, I just wanted to come on. I had my little 2 cents to put in there. So I guess Scooby-Doo is planning on visiting other bigger platforms so that he can get his alleged superfan story out, because that's the title that is being used in what he has been stereotyped as a superfan, this or that. Now, I don't even know how his story, though, could be more of a superfan than what I have seen with my own eyes, meaning the action of Booker. I don't understand that. I done seen him chase a sprinter with chicken. I have seen him, and I've also heard the young ladies, him two girls tell their story along with Jasmine and a few others. How long did he sit in the Trump Tower? Not doing security. It's like he sat there a long ass time. I've heard him say in the audio, somebody played it, betting Jasmine, who is on an EBT card, Eat Better, right? Card. That I bet you that I know this man. I bet you your food share card. Who the fuck does that? I'm putting my hoodie on. Watch me bump into him. tactics. Who has that type of energy for that shit? I bet you your EBT card that I know him. Why did that have to be proven to something like that? You want to take that woman's food away from her? A food stamp card? That shit was crazy as hell, though. I have seen Bookham at a court. I don't know if it was a court hearing or did the trial actually started. I'm not sure. My mind is just not taking me back that far. Dancing. Now, mind you, the nobody anythings. She was there, but she was doing what on that sidewalk, y'all? What was nobody anything that got published in the news? Her shit made it to the news. Her shit was in an article about all that painting and drawing all on the ground. Y'all remember that shit? Bookham goes up there and couldn't even get captioned in NBC, no motherfucking well, dancing around in a pink ass outfit. While court was going on. He outside dancing around like somebody to put a quarter in the jukebox and a dime in his back. I typed it in all access viral. Eat better. That's what it is. Eat better. It wasn't even Cancer Awareness Month. It showed up all in pink. They had to get everybody's attention. One, on how well he can wear pink. Two, on how well he can tap dance in his goddamn orange bottom shoes or whatever the fuck those shoes was. That was pointy at the top. Rand had that best picture up. Three, for what? Another story that he had was about Sean Harris, or I think, was it, who was up there, y'all? Was it Julius or was it the other guy? Not sure, can't remember the name. And they came out and they started picking on me and I did this. And then they was talking about doing it. Then he went over there and he got up under the Diva Divine and the Blade Girl. They seen it all. Like, why are these stories existable? Why? They shouldn't even exist, but they do. I'm like, what the fuck? Sean Harris just coincidentally seen Bookham, came out of the courtroom and wanted to fight him. There's always a reason, a motive, an agenda to something. Something had to happen. Something had to happen. That man just instantly wanted to fight Bookham. The fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Something had to happen. I done seen it all. Put a heart in the chat if y'all done seen it all. Cause this shit is crazy as hell. It's a crazy shit. I done seen it all. I could not understand that. And got the nerves to do name calling. He would do so much name calling on people, and I'm sitting here looking at like, what genocide did you come from? Like, what? Why? Why did it have to be a showboating? Everybody else was taking care of doing business. The girl was out there and took time to draw all that art on that concrete. He brought his ass out there and went dancing on it. What type of shit is that? He came out there to take over with his own little interview. Yeah, said his old little, some guy was doing an interview. I don't know if anybody got that video. He'd come and stand into the middle of that. And the only story that you're actually going to hear that I actually heard from back then up until now is nobody else knows him. I'm the only one that been around him. Who gives a fuck? You're not the one that's sitting up in that jail with him. That's the part that matters at whole. Not whether I know him. Mike Avenatti gonna come after your ass when they get out, because he said he taking down all the handlers. And you do kind of have a handler story. when you was over there at that hotel. I ain't gonna never in my life forget about you at that hotel. You go over there with them girls, and Kelly had the flu-like symptoms, so he was up in the penthouse or whatever. So you and Kid went and took off and went on over to the hotel. Them same goddamn girls, Red and them, who sat on national TV with Gloria Allred talking about, so we were under the influence. Now, I don't understand why I ain't seen that in kaleidoscoping. I don't understand why I ain't seen none of that, because somewhere she seems to think that what everybody has said and done off of IG, Twitter, wherever you were, and clipping your thread, that you guys are part of the setup, right? You had something new with it. But yet then, I'm twisting on this kaleidoscope thing, right? You know how you got to match the colors up in there. The red go with red, green go with green. Okay, because it'll give you a more clarity of a picture. I can't never align the motherfucking colors up in that bitch. I can't. But I'm looking and I never see with a story about Booker, meeting up with Red and them. And Red and them is the same ones that says that they was under the influence. But your boy Booker knows them. They from B-more. I can't grasp that. But then Kaleidoscope will argue and tell you with her testimony and her hands sworn under oath that it ain't got nothing to do with the book. She'll tell you that in a minute. If y'all want to sit out here and waste y'all time on some BS about some bookum, and then that's on y'all. But these is the people over here. What? No, make another kaleidoscope, and if you go add one, you gotta add them all, because if you don't, it makes you look like the lost cause. You ain't adding everybody in there kaleidoscope. That shit ain't cool. You'll keep some drunken Larry up in there, though. You keep drunken Larry and shit up in there. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. But ain't no way in the hell your boy Booker should be excluded from that kaleidoscope. No way in the hell. So I guess what she's trying to tell us with the underlay and the overplay is without saying it. This is what she's trying to tell y'all. Let me tell y'all what she's trying to tell y'all. She trying to tell y'all, keep y'all eyes on that book. I done dropped all what I could drop out here, but I gotta stay close to his ass. At least until he buy a dozen of cookies and some ice cream or some shit. Hell, I gotta keep him close to me because he big enough and he gonna come out here and fight my battles. That's how she moving. That's just my opinion. Alleged. Allegedly. Yeah. Yeah. And we all know what perception means, right? It's what I see, what I saw, and what I believe. And I don't give a damn about what nobody else say or act upon on what I say and what I see and what I need. That's just my perception. I'm entitled to it. I am. All behind what, Seven? I'm not gonna say stupid. I take that back. All over rallies or walks. All over that. All over that. All over that. What he should have been doing, I'm gonna tell you what he should have been doing, Seven, back in the day. Back in the day, what he should have been doing, because he had some people that was very, very close to him at the beginning, and you know who his crew was? Sylvia, Randa, Dom, whatever. They was with him. What's the other guy name? The big guy, right? What was his name? He come in the chats here and there. God, I got their video too, y'all. I got his video. I got their video. And remember, they was arguing with each other. What is the name? Not Gucci, but the other guy, right? I can't think of his name. But Marshall, Big Marshall, right? And when they tell you it's best to keep your alleged enemies close, you gotta keep your friends close too, no matter what. And the minute that they broke off and decided to think for themselves, because that's basically all that they did, and they felt something just wasn't right. That's all they did. You know what? We're going to have to move on. All they had to do was shut that door behind them. All Bookham had to do was just shut the damn door behind. Nope. Gets mad. Got mad. Once they mad, the exposure came. Once the exposure came, actions, real actions came behind that. Tore him down. You know, he feels that he tore them down. It was just insane. Insane. What do I believe? I do. I believe that those women were doing all the goddamn work. And I believe that they just got tired of working for his ass. Them motherfuckers turned in their pink slip and walked the fuck out. We quit. We ain't looking up no more shit for you. Nope, no, and no. It's fucked up when your whole damn team quit on the boss. Well, he wasn't no boss like that, but I'm just saying he thought he was the boss. You know, go do this. Well, send me this. You tell Sylvia, y'all heard all them damn audios. Send me this. Send me this. Sylvia, she was okay. Okay. According to Sylvia, she's thinking that she's got a good friend and somebody who really know our cat. Didn't even turn out that damn way. Yeah, they all set him up as a But the beef should be over, y'all. The beef it should be. I'm not saying that it is. I'm saying that it should be over with, man. Like enough is enough. And I think All Access Viral said it perfectly. Sitting behind a screen, you know, ain't nobody trying to go to jail out here. Nobody want to be tied up in all this shit. Nobody trying to lose their whole life and their children and things like that. This shit ain't even worth it. Unless you really don't care about what should be prioritized in your life. That's what should have mattered, but it didn't. It just kept going on and on and on and on. Now, it is a bit ridiculous that the arguments and the beef is based off of old stuff. He's like retaliating old stuff. Do you know how hideous it looked when he set up, and Cousin did too, right? Went hard on Hollywood. Put a one in the chat. Didn't he do that? Hard on him. And then here we are, a whole nother year later, that's his girl. That's your home. Because it worked in his favor for Hollywood to have her husband on a lie. If that ain't some samp ass shit. So he had to suck balls and eat ass, in my opinion, humbly, respectfully. I'm just saying. And at the same time, Hollywood, I mean, she got a few bags of apples. She got a few bad of them. But when it comes to this type of scenario right here, she ain't no goddamn fool either. She ain't no goddamn fool. Put all her damn eggs in the basket with Book and ride and start riding on the same horse with him. Please, please, please. She wasn't gonna do it. That shits and giggle just came out over on that. But when you look at the reality of it, who really looked at the most hideous in that scenario? He does. He did. Because all he showed it that was that he needed to use somebody to get up on somebody, to get one up, to have his fights. He couldn't do it alone. That was it. He literally tried to use Hollywood when everybody out here just seen this damn fight. Like, now she your sis. Do you know Hollywood over there saying, nigga, is you crazy? But go ahead, it sound good. Go ahead, since I can come over here and get my play out on this damn chat. That's basically how the fuck she rolled that shit out. It is. Ain't no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Gave him something that made him gain some more weight off of. That's all it did. And shake his titties while he giggled. Holly, her husband ain't know this goddamn boy. Don Russell's sister didn't know this boy. Called her up. Yes, she had a story based off of her brother. She did. That shit happened a long time ago between him and his sister. He gained weight off of that story. He gained weight off of the deceased baby. May he rest in peace. From a tragic accident that a man went to jail, did time on. You raise money and you raise hell about that. You and cousin. $50. How much was it, y'all? They wanted $50 given. I was like, what? The baby been deceased a long time. They'll raise money to help the family. The whole family is on YouTube from jail. Yes, we can need it. Yes, we can use it. Yeah, we can use it. Ask Bookham today. Did he go out there and help those people get a tombstone put on that baby's grave? Because he should have recorded that and all. And, he could have gotten a paper for some doing a good damn deed like that. Well, all those people, because of Bookham cousin doing this whole open door set, whatever it was, to raise money on a story that's happened years ago, to end up being a beneficial, capitalizing story. So it was sickening to me, man. Sickening. Sickening as fuck. It's like, what? We could go on with like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and more of these stories. Wow. They don't do no good. All these stories being told and all the kaleidoscoping that we're doing, it don't do no good. It don't do no good. Let me find this one line. I'm so play for y'all. Mr. Kelly got hit with 30 years. 30. And it's been 30 years since that videotape of this alleged 14 and this alleged 20-year-old was showed out here to the public. It's also weird, and it's something that could be in a kaleidoscope as to these prosecutor or the defense or whatever coming to terms to say, well, we'll submit 20 in. But your judge says no, I'll give 30. That 30 years started back all the way from 1990 something of this incident, of this female sitting up on a stand now saying that it's her. She gave him 30 years for that. Above and beyond. Above and beyond. We done argued about the RICO. We done argued about the racketeering. Then argued about Geronda, Faith, Azarel, Sonia, Josephine, you name it, Lisa Van Allen. All of them been arguing. And the argument, in my opinion, should be on your justice system. Nobody's out here big enough to go and really find out the connections. Nobody's, and to do something about it. There's nobody out here. There's not a single person out here in this community of social media, not even the cousin, that's big enough or have enough credentials to call out bigger credentials to get to the bottom of it, to either retry this man and leave all that bad enacting and all this immunity out of it. There's not enough people, or not a person out here that can actually bring down the whole connection, as they say, of the Michael Avenattis and the Cash. Kim Fox. Anybody out here? Anybody out here? I ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna bring down the whole, what they like to say, the setup between the sisters and the internees, Jen and Lindsay. You ain't gonna do it. You can't do it. You don't have that enough juice. You only have enough juice to talk all the fucking Kool-Aid shit out here on social media. And that's it. And the people that you talk about ain't listening to your asses. Don't give a fuck. You ain't big enough, no matter how much you talk about it, to put those connections together of the alleging that somebody, possibly from the White House, trickling all the way down to Donnelly, telling her that this is what you're going to do. Everybody put the connections together with the LGBT movement people, the Me Too. Everybody did. All that's been put together. What they do with? What they do with? Yeah, you exposed it. But there still needed to be more work to be done with it. Talk about it. Talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. How you gonna break their connections? How you gonna get them charged? I gotta get ready to get up off of here. I was gonna show this freaking live to y'all with Greenberg had did on the one interview. And I'm still a little discombobulated based off of what he was saying about that videotape and him coming behind what he said, addressing whether if this tape is authenticated or not. I kind of have a problem with that, with him doing that interview. Just a personal problem. Not personal enough to be the way I'm finna go find him and beat him up and all that stuff, because I don't never get to that damn level of anything. I'm just entitled to have my personal feelings behind that. Hey, Juicy Juice. Yeah, I'm entitled to that. And I was like, really? So what he did, in my opinion, was led the interviewee to believe that there's actual taping currently that was sufficient enough to pass through the judicial system to gain a conviction. I didn't like that. I didn't like that, because there was a lot of arguments about these videotapes. He went on to say that, 14 and then being 20 because he was young himself. If you're going to have an interview and still interject with notions based on this videotape. Can't half-step it. I felt that he half-stepped it based on him knowing some of the connections, and his hands are tied too, because his job could be on the line. You know, a lot of things could happen behind people who like really run their mouth and put all of the truth out there, right? So he left loopholes out there. He did not discuss with this interviewee guy anything about the four, how many tapes that they say? 4, 5, 6, 4 tapes, up to 4 tapes, right? 4 or 5, something like that. He didn't discuss all of that. So I was like, really? Really, Greenberg? Yeah. So I don't know. You know, it was weird. I don't know. It's like, let me see if I can find it so I could pull it up. Y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all want to hear his interview. Other than that, then I won't waste my time on pulling it up. I've been listening to so much music today. I have to go back down here and find it. I don't want to bore y'all, but if y'all want to hear it, let me know. What today is? Today is the 14th. Oh, okay, I found it. So no one's in the chat. So I'll move on from there and we can say the interview. And then I'm going to, you said the man needs, yeah. And I'm sure he's aware of it, but 7, once you establish a persona that can easily get you through life, he said, push to play, Mohammed. Actually, I don't even see if this is, I think that it was Choke No Jokes live, so I don't know if I want to do all of that. I could have sworn, wait a minute. I don't know. Yeah, that was Chokes No Jokes live. I thought that this was an interview with this other guy. I think that I'm wrong. Wait, it is. Hold on. Okay, let me disconnect.
Is the damning video evidence
Here's the evidence.
that some say clearly shows an R. Kelly having sex with clearly underage girls.
Listen to his
begin to overcome that in defense of him.
I don't know, quite frankly, that they can, and I don't know that they're really going to try to do that. I think that it has always been somewhat conceded that the jury was going to see this video. And I don't know that anyone's taking the position that it's not R. Kelly. In the state prosecution, in the 2008 trial, the quality of the video that was used was not as good as the quality of the video that they're using in this case. Back then, it was much harder to tell that it was R. Kelly. And the young lady in the video did not come forward and say, that's me in the video. In fact, she had given statements saying it wasn't her video.
Now, let me pause that, Shannon, because right there he states that back then it was hard to tell whether that was R. Kelly in the video, right? Now listen to what he says after this.
It's her mother also came forward and said it's her in the video. So, sometimes you can't get anywhere with a certain count on a case. That might be the case here. And the question is just what can you do to mitigate the overall damage and the bigger picture?
So that what it may be looking at now. Of course, Mr. Kelly, your client in the state case is facing decades in prison already for a conviction in New York.
Juicy, no.
For me here,
He put it on private
charges, except on basically that he bribed the witness in a former trial. He subverted justice, and it's basically similar. The worst crimes are similar to what he's already been convicted of in federal court in New York. If he were to be found guilty, wouldn't these be served concurrently? Wouldn't they be served at the same time? What's the
That's up to the judge, here? Right? That's completely up to the judge. In any federal case, the judge has discretion to make things concurrent or consecutive. Look, on the New York case, he got 30 years. He's going to be 81 or 82 years old when he gets out of jail. If he has to serve all of that time, maybe he'll be in his late 70s. I doubt the 85-year-old judge in this case would pile on to that. Here's a man who has lost everything professionally and everything personally. As far as the charges, I think the charges here are frankly different than the charges there. The charges there were the actual sex acts themselves that were charged. The sex acts aren't charged here. What's charged here is the filming of the sex acts. And it's maybe a semantical difference, but it is a difference.
Okay, duly noted on those differences. And another question for you. You will defend R. Kelly, are continuing to serve as a defense attorney in the state cases. There is a state case here that is ongoing, and there could potentially be a state case that is brought in Minnesota, depending a lot on what likely happens in this federal case. A question for you is, have you had any contact with Mr. Kelly? Does R. Kelly ever believe he will one day be free, exonerated, or not be in a courtroom facing some type of charge or allegation?
Do you eat, sleep, and breathe Tesla? Supercharge your future with Allstat Auto.
He's got very good lawyers. She said they're dogged lawyers. We like to think that we're dogged lawyers, so we fight hard for our clients. Like Leonard and I were on the New York case until some people got him, and Robert's here. We were absolutely convinced we were going to win that case. The case would not be facing 30 years now. Absolutely convinced that we would prevail on the state court cases that looked at the evidence.
Now, I'm going to stop it there. Because he says that, he was pretty sure that they would have prevailed in that case, right? That's what he just said. Now, let's go back a couple of seconds on there, where he gets he's drawn into speaking about this alleged sex tape. It says he's now, it's like I'm dancing to a different beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like now, he couldn't be R. Kelly's attorney. He literally kind of just admitted, like, well, they showed the sex tape and they cleaned it. That's what he just did prior to him saying that had he been his attorney. How are you going to prevail? Let me turn this into a question for Greenberg. How would you have prevailed if you are kind of saying that they were able to distinguish a lot better of who were in the sex tape or this tape presented to the jury now? How were you going to prevail that? You just, do y'all hear what I'm saying? How? Because had I been a client, Mr. Kelly, and I'm walking up in there and I heard him say, this about the sex tape, and things like that. I want to know how are you going to prevail it? What would have been what was his defense? What defense would he have put on to the jury to prevail it before you said this? Why?
A lot.
Let me replay it.
What likely happens in this federal case. I mean, a question for you is, have you had any contact with Mr. Kelly? Does R. Kelly ever believe he will one day be free, exonerated, or not be in a courtroom facing some type of charge or allegation?
Do you eat, sleep, and breathe Tesla? Supercharge your future with Allstat Auto.
You know, he's got very good lawyers. She said they're dogged lawyers. We like to think that we're dogged lawyers. We fight hard for our clients. Leonard and I who worked on the New York case until some people got him and Robert here. We were absolutely convinced we were going to win that case. The case would not be facing 30 years now. Absolutely convinced that we would prevail on the state court cases. I've looked at the evidence. I understand what's involved. I understand the allegations. And as far as the appeal of the New York case, it's very interesting because what they did was they took a bunch of small acts that weren't really, you know, they were illegal, but they weren't the crime of the century. Usually when you've got a racketeering case, you've got a gang or the mob, and they say the gang has committed 7 murders, 3 kidnappings, they've been selling kilos of drugs, and so on and so forth. With Kelly's case, what they said was he didn't disclose to somebody he had herpes. That's a misdemeanor. He got a fake ID. That's a misdemeanor. They took all these relatively minor things into a RICO case, and then the government only asked for 20 years, and the judge gave them 30. There are a whole host of, and I don't
Even changed his name. He's the Don.
I frankly believe that if Second Circuit Court of Appeals has any courage, they will do the right thing and they will overturn that verdict and say that this is a gross abuse of the racketeering laws. It's not.
Okay, so I'm gonna leave that right there, y'all, because we got against the Don, the monkey, the Don is on the line. Oh Lord. Let's get into it. Let's get into this.
What's up? What's the word, Pat?
Oh no, what's going on? Had a little lit. It was litty lit over there. Shout
You
out
know,
to Surprise, they got your back over there. They got your back. And of course, you know, I always got my 2 cents because I'm like, wait a minute. But yeah, you came out with some information that you said you never shared and you wanted to take it to more platforms. So shout out to you for that. That's why I showed up. I was like, oh, okay, he's got some stuff that he's sharing that no, you haven't showed to the crowd out here. So I was interested in that. But you had to know old Donkey Kong was gonna swing out them bushes.
but I came on the show originally just to talk about being falsely accused and how the government came to the conclusion that the partial video that was given to them was not their interpretation of what they perceived it to be initially being received it from individual one.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, to be questioned about, did you say this about this guy mother? Did you do this to this person? I did everything that everybody did to me.
Now, let me stop you because I gotta, and this ain't nothing towards all access fire. I just gotta keep it real, right? Because when Bookham popped up in the chat, he could have done to Bookham even just like he did with everybody else in the chat. You just kind of read it and let it roll, right?
Right.
So, in my opinion, he opened the door for Bookham to come on and have his
And
say.
in my opinion, you blindsided me with that.
He opened the door for him. Since you opened the door, you got, in my opinion, He got
You
he
gotta
should
roll
let it
with it.
roll. You gotta let it roll now. Because
Yeah.
shouldn't have never touched him. It shouldn't have never opened that door. But just because you done found out what you wanted or what you think that you done found out, now I'm shutting it down. It's going on private. I was like,
But
oh,
most people that find out that this rabbit hole is deeper than what you were told
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
end up, backing out just like that. We done seen it with Choke No Joke. We seen it.
If he gave you the platform, and just my opinion, it's nothing towards all access virus, and I get it, he's got a family, he don't want to get in the middle of it, then it should have just stayed right
Where was
what
that?
you were doing,
Right, right.
explaining the paper.
Because
Don't put
my
a yes up there. No.
my my case don't involve people hurt feelings. It don't
Mm-hmm,
involve what I said to you, I did to you, or if I threatened you, I didn't threaten you. My
mm-hmm,
case is about three people that make more money than your feelings.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Three people that make more money than everybody that's living in your roof.
mm-hmm. So
Three
that's
people
what
that
broke me. Like
three
what?
people three people that's pristine uh New York citizens to the point that collectively they probably done gave out over 100 years to people that look like me.
Mm-hmm,
And you want to come and talk about what's going on with you on YouTube and what I said to you and what I did to you when this is on a higher level than you. This is about me versus the federal government and their mistake in failing to investigate information that was given to them before running in my home. I putting guns in my face. That's what I'm talking about.
mm-hmm.
If you want to step in, what are you stepping in to say? Are you stepping in to say that the government presented a good case? Are you stepping in to say that the facts of their case was true? If that's the case, why didn't they proceed with it?
Okay, let me ask you this. Is Bookham saying that he had absolutely nothing to do with your situation in the federal bureau? Is that what he's saying? Is that what he's trying to incline?
I never really got an understanding of what he was trying to imply because
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, did you or did you not? How? That's not a complicated question to answer. Did you or did you not? How
you know,
he
like
never
I,
answers that clearly.
I said on all assets viral, if I didn't pay this federal public defender. The lawyers I called, none of them called me back. So if I have a federal public defender, I'm going against the government in front of a judge.
Mm,
All three of these people are friends. I'm a stranger.
mm-hmm,
If this lady will take you and your YouTube and your posts and things that you do on YouTube
mm-hmm,
to her two friends and recommend that they either dismiss my case or give me a deferred prosecution, and they take that, then that would mean that you had to be a significant part of my case.
mm-hmm.
Now, I see some people talk about deferred prosecution, and I know I gave you my paperwork, which, if you remember, I hope you can attest to. I never admitted any guilt. This is not a plea agreement. This is a agreement between the government and me, not a plea. Agreement that you would dismiss my case in 6 months from this day as long as I don't get in any trouble. If I get in any trouble, I don't get in any trouble. If they decide that I may have did something, we'll be back at square one. But if I took a plea, it would be a done deal. And if I violated anything, it wouldn't be a square one. It would be a violation and on my way to jail. So if I violated anything, they still have to answer my motion of freedom of speech, which is something that brought pressure on the situation, along with pointing out who we felt was individual one.
Mm. But
And
he never wants to admit to that. So
and All Access Viral asked me about DJ and etc. I don't sugarcoat anything. DJ went to the feds first over his mother. He sent them to my house. My lawyer got involved. My lawyer called the agent back. The agent told my lawyer what it was about. That was not no fake lawyer. His name is Cosmo Tadone, one of the top lawyers. He got 5 inmates that was convicted, sentences overturned. Been rocking with me since I was probably 19 years old. Sent me birthday cards, Thanksgiving cards every year. Came and testified for me in my lawsuit against the Bolingbrook Police Department, even though he was fighting cancer, a friend of my family. He called the federal government, the FBI. They told us who sent the FBI. What this man did, Dana, was contact those same people because I believe they all was sharing a number. They all was making their complaints with the same person. And then he came along, said that he was part of our group, and I fell out with him and I threatened him, which we have all heard this story being said by multiple people. But don't be on YouTube crying that I threatened you if you threatened me. Don't cry if I disrespected you and you disrespected me. It's not one person that didn't participate and slinging mud and rolling in the mud and
That,
doing foul shit and saying
that,
foul shit.
yeah.
So what make me what I said more any different than what you said? If you drove past my job, I drove past your mama house. If you put my kids in a herpes vagina, I put your kids on the dildo. If T baby and friends of mine is good enough for you to take their Facebook pictures and put it on your shit, then it's good enough for me to take your picture and put T baby head on it. I'm not crying about none of that. All I'm talking about is the federal government, the same people that prosecuted R. Kelly and investigated R. Kelly, failed to do a thorough investigation before running up on me, putting guns in my face, or searching my home. And I believe that they did the same thing in R. Kelly's case. That's what I'm trying to say. You will take anything. Throughout my whole time on house arrest, we could never move forward with my court case because every week came a complaint from YouTube. Every week came a complaint about your hurt feelings. Every week it was about somebody saying I did this to them. I said this to them. Or they got this on me and I threatened them and all this stuff. At the end of the day, I was being charged with threatening 3 federal prosecutors. Not what I said about your kids, your mother, your feelings, your house, your car, your dog. It wasn't about that. And when I came on All Access Viral, I wasn't about that. I was about the paperwork and what happened. But if you want to volunteer and try to challenge black and white, I can dig even more in this Michael Jordan shoebox and pull out even more paperwork. That was just the little tip of it. That's just a little tip. So if DJ want to come out and try to deny the Godson, the Snake Squad, the rest, I got it all. And in the end, we told the federal government, how can you charge me with threatening 3 federal prosecutors and the whole basis of your case is my beef with these people on YouTube? That's not a foundation for a case that's involving federal prosecutors. You got to hold yourself to a higher standard than that. But Agent Ryan, he thought he was gonna run that shit on me. Wait till you see the full interrogation.
So that is Agent Ryan that you're sitting in the interrogation room
No,
with. Okay,
no,
that's a different one.
that's Chicago.
Okay.
Agent Ryan is on the phone. Agent Ryan is on the phone. He doing all the talking. They just sitting there. The first question he asked me was, why did you get arrested in front of the courthouse? Didn't they tell you not to come back?
Now there is one thing, because when the interpretation comes out about Bookham portraying, I'm gonna have to use the word portraying on this one though, Scooby, because you don't hear a response coming from an Agent Ryan on the audio. It's just his ass talking and and I'm gonna do that. I don't have that audio, whatever, but it's been played. All you hear is him. And this is where he has
No, you hear the agent say, let me get this right. So you was in the group with this guy. Y'all
Okay,
all
he
fell
is.
out.
You're right. He's at the beginning. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right. He's
yeah,
at the beginning of it.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Now, why would you be talking to somebody? You see, they play recordings of me saying motherfuck the judge, prosecutor, and the DA. They play recordings of me saying I don't give a fuck about the police. They play recordings of me saying I don't give a fuck about the feds or anybody else that's with law enforcement. That's my right.
but he has one too that says that he don't give a fuck too.
The difference, listen. It's a difference. I got a guy in a hoodie taking a gun from a police officer and blowing his head off tattooed on my forearm. I have seen the police in the most disgusting forms. My respect level for them is what I told you it is. And I don't give a fuck if you run and tell them. I don't give a fuck if they know about it. That's how I feel.
Mhm.
When it comes to the judicial process, it needs to be reformed. That's why I walk the streets. None of this was an act. I came in this with a lawsuit pending against Bolingbrook police about my civil rights way before I spoke about some R. Kelly shit. People be mad when I say I come before R. Kelly, I fuck R. Kelly, or any of that. Just know when I do that, I say that type of stuff, it's because I'm human. I'm here
Mhm.
based on my opinion. I'm not here based on wanting to be R. Kelly, what favorite song he had. That's not what I'm based on when I've been reading this paperwork, when you've been forcing me to pay attention to what's going on in the trial, attending the trial. I'm here to talk about the facts. And this goofy motherfucker talking about you go and read my lawsuit. It says that they pull up on the car. I'm in the car. I'm with a 19-year-old, and I'm 28 years old. 20 whatever at the time. How do you roll back 19 to 14 and say I was in a relationship with a 14-year-old? That's not what the paperwork said. The same way you play the recording of my lawyer telling you basically ain't nothing she finna tell you, but she didn't confirm the paperwork and my paperwork is fake, but yet it has her name on it. They was gonna fry your ass if this the real reason they gave me a deferred prosecution, because I would have freed R. Kelly. The moment you would have got on the stand, it would have been all about your cooperation and work and information that you have participated in and given in Robert Sylvester Kelly's case, which would have led to you mentioning Gregory Stubbs and the 50-page papers that he done gave to the government. And then both of y'all would have been in a predicament of swatting and doxing because most of the information that you gave over to the federal government, they did not do their job and verify.
So instead of doing that, detain you on the house arrest and keep you off the internet until it's over and now it's a whitewash and nothing.
Yes.
Yes,
But you
what?
got to also remember, I had a federal lawsuit pending. That
Mhm,
lawyer lost his brain. He
mhm.
wanted to know, did Bolingbrook work with New York to sabotage our case? So it's going to be a round two to that. That's going to bring a round two to this.
Ooh,
And why Dana J over there talking about I'm broke and all this shit, I gave dude $5,000 on my initial case. On my initial case, it even said in the paperwork, but you want to skip that line. That's how I know you do selective reading. I gave that man $5,000.
absolutely. That's the you absolutely you nailed that one. It is so much selective reading. It's hideous. Like how? Why are you playing Twister with the paperwork? Why are you? And he does it so much so it just sounds so naturally read to people. No, no, and no. That is not what that says, man.
If
Cut.
push come to now, today I woke up, dude called me, the same dude that lost that lawsuit. He called
Yeah,
me
yeah.
today. To my surprise, I've been calling everybody else, but he called me. He said, I need you to get me the search warrants on that case. I need you to give me all the paperwork because I want to go over it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it to him and everything. But before I drop the ball on this situation, I'll pull a Ronnie Boy and file my own goddamn lawsuit. Because Agent Ryan went to the grand jury and gave false or misleading testimony. Where is the 30 rounds of ammunition and guns that I bought through Cash App? But you ran through my house and you thought you was gonna find guns and ammunition. I told you, cocksuckers, I'm from the street. I'm way smarter than that.
Mhm.
They ran through this motherfucker when shit in here. You looking for a gun? That must be my two sons.
Mm-hmm.
Cause that's it. Ain't no gun here. Any other gun is legit, licensed. Motherfucker paid for it, paperwork to it, in the case, locked up. They got the key. It ain't my key. So what can you do? You can't do shit. And the moment that people let go of 2020 protesters, because all of these threats and all of this back and forth was going on during those protesters. And when those protesters was over in about October of 2020, come November, here came E.T. with her story of surviving Deboski and a one-night stand that lasted a whole year. Come February, come December, uh, here come the godson with an order of protection. Uh, September, I went out there for a court date. June, I'm getting arrested for threatening some federal prosecutors, and they using me going to this court date as the foundation of their case. So when people say I brought it on myself or whatever, maybe I did. I'm not complaining about it. Y'all the motherfuckers that still crying about it. Y'all the ones that went to law enforcement about it. I haven't wrote a police report on not one person. Not one person. Dude came over here shooting at my house, Pap. I ain't even write a police report on him. He went to jail for shooting at his own kids. His baby mama didn't follow through with it. He got out, and instead of taking that opportunity and moving forward with his life, he went and shot an innocent person in the barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
But let them get on the internet and tell it all this. I never made a report on none of y'all. Y'all spent morning, noon, and day contacting Bolingbrook, contacting Chicago, contacting Homeland Security, contacting the feds, and then getting right back on YouTube, calling me a bitch, calling me a hoe, telling me what I ain't gonna do, running up on my tables. Y'all use the time and taxpayers' money that go into law enforcement for your own personal feelings, try to mobilize them as an army. Everybody seen me walk them streets. Everybody seen me post those dates. Everybody knew where I was going and gonna be at. But you wait until all that shit was over and start working with the federal government and keeping up shit and antagonizing a person on YouTube just so you can be the victim in the end. I never be the victim. So for all you bitch ass niggas on here talking about I want to play the victim, I won't even play the victim. I'll never be the victim. You gonna be the victim.
Mm-hmm.
And anything I ever said, I meant that shit. If I told you fuck you, I meant that shit. You ain't seen me reroute on none of these Negroes. You ain't seen me reroute on none of them. Motherfuckers talking about I got pussy at a protest. I slept with this person. I slept with this person. I slept with that person. Who you sleeping with? You been on the internet 4-5 years. We ain't seen you sleeping with nobody. Then the other people who never came to a protest will do a whole live talking 2 and 3 hours about a protest that they was not even at. It's gonna be 2024 and they still talking about them protesters, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
That means we made history.
That's
Period.
sad. Yeah.
And you want to rewrite history by saying everybody there was a whore. We was fucking on the party bus, smoking blunts on the party bus. Those party buses was driven by off-duty police officers. Those party buses was owned by off-duty police officers. There was no smoking on the bus. There was no. Why do we Levi? Why do we need to have sex on the party bus if
There
we stand?
wasn't any on the bus that I was on. There wasn't none of that. I'm like, what? But sometimes you
Why
know,
do we need to have sex on a party bus if we all in five-star hotels? We can't wait till the bus stop. Why is everybody a hoe but these accusers? Everybody on the bus a hoe. But if I call an accuser a hoe, I need to go to jail for it. People say I was offensive by saying I'm smoking on Pimp Lo's son. But Pimp Lo said, fuck your 17-year-old daughter and fuck your little kids. I ain't cry about it. I just said the same shit to him. See, when you dish it out, you got to be able to take it in. None of y'all can take it in. If I would have went to the government about my windows, posting my motherfucking license plates, contacting my baby mama while she at work, all this shit, I could have been did the same shit to one of y'all. But you know why I ain't do none of that shit? Cause none of that shit ever phased me. You an internet motherfucker. Ain't not one motherfucker came in arm length of me and played with me. Goofy motherfucker tell me to pull up, I pulled up. How did that shit end? What you on YouTube talking about motherfucker going to jail? That's how everything ends. You started and you ended by you going to jail. Stop being out here starting shit if you can't stand on it. Y'all thought when the federal government came, I wasn't gonna stand on everything I did? Hell yeah. I can show everything I did, you did it to me. See, mutual combat. That means that even if I'm a felon in possession of a gun and I see your motherfucking ass and we get into it when we already been doing this shit, I can put up the defense of mutual combat. It's been a tit for tat with every last one of you motherfuckers. Y'all just felt that if you got a police report, it put you in the right. It don't put you in the right. It just put you as a coward ass bitch that when they got a police report, now you think you tough.
Mm-hmm.
Where
Well,
did
I
that order?
like I did, just shout outs to you because all assets by he asked you and you didn't hold back on it. You said, yes, I did. I did do that. And then you followed up with the reason why you had done it. That's how you
Imagine this.
put your
Imagine
story.
this. Agent Ryan Chabot, lead Homeland Security agent on R. Kelly case, he said, just keep it real with me. I'm gonna
Mhm.
keep it real with you. I
Right.
said, I don't talk without no lawyer, but I don't have nothing to hide. And he did exactly what all Access Viro did. And I said exactly what I told all Access Viro. He took 2 of those charges off. It was another charge for threatening Ann Donnelly. It was another charge for possession of firearm, which he knew wasn't gonna stick. He took 2 of them off. He would have took the third one off if I would have got the video. See, people don't know that one lady, what's her name? Valerie Payton.
Uh-huh.
Valerie Payton got picked up by Ryan Shaboot, right? He ran the same shit on her he ran on me. Ryan Shaboot, he picked up Richard Arline.
Damn.
Yeah, he investigated Richard Arline. So he run the same little bullshit game. Valerie Payton walked up out of there. They ain't
Mm-hmm.
charged her with shit.
Mm-hmm.
I would have walked up out of there if I would have had that video, but I didn't have the channel. I knew the video he was talking about because after I did the live, the video was up for about 5 minutes and then it just disappeared. And YouTube didn't give me a complaint about it. And it just disappeared. So I never forgot. Damn, a video just disappeared. They didn't even let me rebuttal it.
Uh-huh.
So I knew then something was up with that video. So 9 months later, when you ramped up on me about the video, I never forgot it from 9 months ago. I always wondered what happened to it.
Hmm.
So I was able to explain it from start to end. That, I'm gonna put the video up, in about 90 days. Most of the video just explain all y'all hurt feelings, what you did to me and what I did to you, straight like that. And just know, whenever you do something to me, I'm gonna overdo that shit to you, and I'm gonna look the feds in the face and say, yeah, I did it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna be doing no shit to you from some shit from 2020. I'm moving on with my life. Y'all should be moving on with y'all life. I see people still rehashing the same shit. We had a red and white party. You can only donate at the party.
Mm-hmm.
Bozo over there talking about, you said you raised thousands of dollars. Yeah, I did say I raised thousands of dollars, only because I knew you was listening.
Let they say, give a dog a bone, let the dog
Right.
roll. Because it's true. DMX all day.
And if you gave
All
me
you
a
gotta
check,
do is give it to him.
if you gave me a check or a money order and you gave it to me, show me a check for thousands of dollars. Because when I sit at the table and started with the money orders and checks, I was the first one to write one out for $100, followed by Lolo and 3 other people. Those 3 other people contacted me and told me that they was taking their stuff, canceling the checks or whatever because it wasn't moving forward after about 90 days. I never asked for my $100 back, but I should contact Western Union, let them know I never even used $100 and it never was sent nowhere. But for you to be like, I tried to scam, we scam, that scam would be in that building. It didn't go outside of that building. I didn't have a PayPal. I didn't have a Cash App. I didn't have attorneys vouching for it and telling you would have to be there on the spot. And if you wasn't there, then you couldn't donate. So don't put me into no defense fund shit. They clearly, I'm gonna tell you something else too. They clearly said when R. Kelly went up for a bond that his bond was being denied because they feared that his fans would raise up money for him to flee the country, and they used the dollar for the king as a reference point, which I have the paperwork of.
Wow. But I believe that you touched on that several times, but they
I
say
want to,
it's denied.
I gotta throw this out there. My federal public defender didn't know that Dana started the dollar for the king.
Oh.
I was like, no, that he started that. See, he started that. Yeah, he started that. You got any proof that he started it? I said, go to R. Kelly's motion between the government to deny him bond. She said, around what time is it? Time was it? And I told her. She went on, they got quick access to the shit. She pulled it
Uh-huh.
up. I said, you see that dollar for the king, him? That's him. He started that. And when she went and told them that you started the dollar for the king, I already knew I was gonna get up out of that shit. Shit. How you gonna call me the super fan? He the motherfucker that started the defense fund. He the motherfucker who said that he had babies by the accusers, which is re-victimizing them
Mm-hmm.
if they are a victim. Primo, you wanted to say because I drove Darlene April to the courthouse to file a lawsuit, that's some nefarious act. I could drive a motherfucker wherever I want to drive him.
Well,
And you can,
also taking a picture with Don Russell and holding a trophy, that kind of
man, I ain't
your
gonna even lie
narrative.
to you. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I was rooting for Don Russell to continue to stand on all 10 that R. Kelly enterprise, that anything illegal about it was done by people that was part of his camp. When Don Russell made the decision that he made, that's when we parted ways. However, I didn't ask Don Russell to bring no awards. I asked him for an interview. And I didn't want to do an interview on YouTube because if you were in Chicago, I could pull up on you.
You
I
think
want
Don
to look you
Russell's
in.
still locked up?
Yeah, no doubt. Don
Oh,
Russell will be out. Don Russell will be out probably by, I'm gonna say, March or April.
I don't think he's still locked up.
Yeah, your ass locked up. Trust and believe that. Ain't nothing you can swap out for R. Kelly. Ain't nothing you can swap out.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you can swap out is another body.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, I don't see him having nobody to swap out.
Ain't no,
He can
no
swap out
harm.
Sharon Wimbush.
No.
He ain't gonna do that. He can swap out Keith. He ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
So he ain't got nothing to swap out. So if he ain't got nothing to swap out, you're gonna be still sitting there. And even if you try to swap something now, you still gonna do a little time. So you only got, like I told him in our last conversation, man, when you get your ass up in there, you tell him you do drugs. He said, what? Yeah, tell him you do drugs and you got an alcohol problem. See,
Mm-hmm.
people, when you do that shit, Donald Trump made a First Step Act. And that First Step Act is how the masked man got out of jail. You go to them motherfucking rehab and drug classes that they have up in there, they will take off, I believe it's for every 90 days that you do, you get 35 days off or something like that. So he can get some of that time off. Not a lot, but he can get at least it was only 20 months. So he can get at least 9 off that. And
Mm.
once you get under a year, you can go to a halfway house. So he could be out of jail in the halfway house.
See, I mean, he went pretty hard on Don Russell. I ain't gonna lie, like,
He
wow.
went pretty hard on Don Russell, but at the end of the day, Don Russell was down there, DJ was down there, Dana was down there, Darlene April was down there, him too was down there, Sylvia was down there. My ass went down there.
Mm.
My ass went down there. So when the collage lady putting Jasmine up with me, I ain't never met Jasmine in the flesh. When you putting up Darlene April with me. I ain't seen Darlene April since I drove her to that courthouse. That's it. That's all. You know, I'm not a part of the R. Kelly case. I'm a part of my opinion. I can say fuck R. Kelly all I want to. I went out and marched the streets for R. Kelly several times and his due process rights, and went back to the FCC to demand that they secure him arrest as well as all the other inmates in that building. It wasn't about R. Kelly. It was about the law. That's what it's about. Even if I didn't like R. Kelly, I still would advocate because it's a violation of his due process rights. That's what you got to get in your head when you listening to one thing and who makes the rule of who's for R. Kelly and who's not for R. Kelly. Because if I can make the rule, I think somebody should be out there protesting right now, no goddamn emails. So let me make the rule by saying the day ones who knows what's best for them, the cousins, the mentees, the godsons, I want to see y'all get out there and get to wherever that building that's in control of that officer A who did what she did, because that's what R. Kelly called platforms and spoke on. But we ain't speaking on that. We speaking on Deboski and protesters.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, as they continue to try to put their kaleidoscope or paint their picture, mainly her, so right, it's the little people that she's keeping out in or attempting to keep out in the forefront. They don't give a damn about you ain't gonna solve nothing with the little people. You got to
They
get the
would
bigger. I'm like,
they wasn't gonna have no they they wasn't gonna have no trial with
yeah,
these little
but
people.
they not.
When I say the little people this time, one pap, I'm talking about the little people on her side that she be on them 3 and 5-way phone calls when they making fucking calls to the federal government to get people indicted and arrested in DCFS and well-being checks. They didn't give a fuck about your little ass because they weren't gonna be able to present that shit to no jury right next to how they gonna show a woman with a flag in her crotch with 3 motherfucking college educated people who just put away the king of R&B. How they gonna show a man that chased down a goddamn sprinter who got in front of the news cameras and said R. Kelly's his mentee and something like God's gift to the world? They want to call y'all to the stand. Let's do this shit. We gonna run y'all ass through the mud.
Not if
And I told that
I
public
was on the
defender,
back page. I ain't coming out because that's the first thing they're gonna do. They're going to
man,
attack your character.
you know
Who?
that dude, Daryl Brooks,
I don't know who was that.
that crazy motherfucker that ran them people over.
Oh yeah.
Daryl Brooks wasn't gonna have shit on me. I told the lady, this how we're gonna lay down our defense. If you don't stick to the plan, you're gonna be fired and I'm gonna be carrying it out.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank, period. And I was gonna ask you, have you ever been involved in a federal case? Have you ever worked in R. Kelly's case? Do
Mm-hmm.
you know Agent Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
Have the first thing that we did when I got arrested, what people don't know, we filed a thing that I seen Stephen Greenberg file saying that he wanted to freeze all emails and communications between Kim Fox and Michael Avenatti, which never had to come to the light because they dropped that case. But I
Mm-hmm.
told her, put that in. We want to preserve all communication between individual one and
Yeah,
the government.
yeah,
They
yeah.
never handed that over and they dropped that motherfucking case because y'all motherfuckers was hitting up them motherfuckers every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. A jury can see a pattern of this shit. You can't get in front of a jury and say he did this to me when I can say they did this to me.
Ex-
That
Back and
that ain't
forth.
going nowhere.
And I believe that it would have just been settled like how that judge told Sylvia and Book. Y'all got some baboo filet. Get both of y'all get the hell up out of here with this shit. Fight. It's a verbal fight. Go see, like
Imagine this. You come to the judge.
take it or fold it. That's how I feel like.
You come to the judge as a federal lawyer, state's attorney. You come to the judge, you say, Your Honor, this is very urgent. You hand over a recording. On the recording, it's a guy saying he's gonna blow a motherfucker head off. You
Mhm.
contact my lawyer. You tell my lawyer we going to court tomorrow. We're trying to take him into custody. He just threatened somebody.
Mhm.
He just threatened a person that's possibly part of this case. Then we get the recording. We listen to it. It's Dana on the recording, and we like, hold on, wait. That's not me. That's Dana.
Oh shit.
Hey, damn, we thought that was no. That's not me. That's Dana.
Mhm.
Now the judge is like, I just heard that recording. Who the fuck is that? Because the
Mm,
judge didn't know who it was.
mm,
And then you got the truth coming. The truth, lady, Melinda Stewart, right off Madison. You contact Ann Donnelly courtroom, which I'm not even in her courtroom, but you contacting her courtroom telling her bailiff that I got the vice lords threatening you. So when we go to court, after knowing that that's not
hold
me on
up,
the,
hold up. I got a bag. Hold on. She contacts the court. How the hell does she go through chain of command? Where's the police report? And
that's
you-
that's what my defense was. That these people is not part of my case. Their complaints are not part of my case, and the judge sided with that. That is
mm,
why when I left my mom's house, they didn't post my address. They didn't even let it be known that I was moved. Most
mm.
of my court dates from that point on, they didn't let the public hear it because y'all was interfering in my due process rights, and we had already established that earlier on.
But they
So
kept
when
going.
y'all and the more they kept going, the more it was pushing me towards getting out of that jam. The more y'all kept going, was the
But
more
you
that y'all
have these people accepting their calls, accepting their letters. Is this,
all of that was cool. All of that would be cool in a normal situation.
yeah,
However, my lawyer got ahead of that to the point that now when you're making complaints, these complaints are really being looked at and viewed to see if it supports our argument that the broader quote unquote R. Kelly community is harassing me and my family.
mm.
I'm only one person. Look how many people doing this to me. So what would it matter what I did to them?
Yeah, but at the same time, to me, in my opinion, it still should have triggered some false accusation, accusation
In 90 days,
investigation.
in 90 days, that might be the conclusion of it, Lord willing. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because it seems to me that the government wasted money and someone's going to have to pay. And I believe that after they see, well, I went 6 months, not in trouble, haven't been arrested in over 15 years. Yeah, you saw me get detained in New York. I didn't get convicted of no crime. You saw some mug shots. I didn't get convicted of none of that shit. That's why I was suing when I came on YouTube. I haven't been convicted of a crime in over 15 years. That's why the federal government didn't have a point system on me.
Hmm.
So, I believe that if they wasted money, and I believe that federal charges could come out of this situation for swatting. Swatting is a federal crime. When you turn in partial evidence and you testify to the grand jury behind that evidence, or the agent testified behind that evidence on your word, you could possibly be charged or somebody could be sued, one or the other.
Ooh,
So in
ooh,
90 days would be the big bang bang.
I'm sure I'll have my shit tuned in.
If
Like,
you notice,
let me
I mean,
see.
every since I went up there at the halfway mark for a status check, I've been in the collage every day.
Yeah, yeah, you have. I mean, but the Oochie Coochie pictures up.
I just want to know where's the proof of this murder for hire? How do a guy threaten you and you call the police and put me in a murder for hire? If somebody threatened you, then that should be between you and the person that threatened you.
I
What
believe
do
she,
that got to
I
do with
believe
me?
that she posted how she came into contact with him through, I think it was off of IG. So she kind of posted little pieces of their
And
back.
when she posted that, if you read it, it says, if you want to get at Deboski, tag his name in the videos that you're making about him.
Yeah.
So how you go from conspiring with this guy to harass me to I hired this guy to kill you? That guy the first time I heard him, he was on Sky Zone channel. That's where he came from.
Mm.
Sky Zone think that she done faded away and her dirty deeds would never come to the light. But it's my opinion that her, the collage lady, Dana and Levi was all taking money from the dollar for the king because they all was part of setting it up.
Well, I mean, well, she did got she got a food truck now, though, right?
If she don't get it, she probably still selling you know what for it.
Mm-mm. You know, I was looking at the and no homo, 'cause I ain't got motherfucking gay. But I was like, why the red suit don't fit? Why saggy? I mean, I'm just saying. It's like, what fit? I was
I
like,
know this. If I see you in lingerie with your things, any paws out,
she
and you telling me I could book you. When I book you, you better be doing these dinos.
it's just it's weird because even though it's present now that it went up,
Right.
it's still triggering. That's the funny part to me. Is how the fuck is this shit still triggering? This shit is old as fuck. Like that boy post, and for some apparent reason, it works. Like you couldn't trigger me. Scooby Doo steady posting that shit. You done did it, but they get
No, but and
they
there's
get
something else too. Even though I said I never filed a police report. My
yeah.
baby mother have every right to file a police report when you're threatening her kids, when you're posting where she lives, when you read her VIN numbers. I don't have to make a police report.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And if you willing to show up at an airport because you thought I was there, you're threatening me. Now, you already got a foul off my baby mama, but I'm finna put the stamp on that shit. I'm 40 years old. I ain't got to live by no street code with police niggas. That's how
Hey,
people felt every
he
time.
waited 2 hours on you. He waited 2 hours in the middle of the
Yeah.
airport, could
Yeah.
have possibly put the public in danger. Nobody, he's looking like, to me, he was looking like a whole damn, TER up
One
in
thing I
the damn airport. What are you
one
doing?
thing I gotta get to that one guy. That one guy got on the plane and he came.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I ain't seen even when Levi say he came out to support his cousin, he had to hide like a coward. And
Why
if you
nobody knows him or to be after you? Who are
it
you?
was the terrorists was after him because they was jealous of his relationship with Robert.
Oh, what the fuck? Mm.
Robert called you every day in jail.
Really?
He
Do
don't
you know
he
how?
don't call he don't call the bro that got him 30 years. He want to call you. He
But
want to
Mr.
call you.
Kelly can go and stand out in the middle of the public. One interview he's doing with he was on the beach somewhere on the sidewalk. All the people he don't feel threat. He's a superstar. Why is he feeling threat?
Man, you heard Bruce tell him on choke joke. Ain't nobody threatening me.
He said
Nobody threatening me.
he did. He
You
did.
heard 312 say none of this threatening even started until these protesters was happening and you started threatening the protest.
I tell you what, had he just, in my opinion, he come out here normalized and left that cousin off and just came out as a regular person, maybe he wouldn't have to go through somebody to come out as your normal person. You just leave out. Nope, you want to stamp that cousin on there, and it's the cousin part where he feels that is triggering to most people of him becoming a threat or they are a threat to him, and he just used that. I'm like, get the fuck who the hell the cousin. They would be
I
more so
want
after the
uh,
brother first, wouldn't they? Than the cousin.
and there's something else too. How could I be around somebody when they were 14 when I ain't even live around them? Go and look at the real criminal record. I did 3 years. Motherfucker 14, I was nowhere around. If you run around here talking about this is something that I really don't like about Dana. You talk about people you don't know. You talk about places you wasn't at. And you get on YouTube and say it like it's the fact, like it's the Bible, like a gospel Wendy Williams ass bitch. And then you go and say I got herpes. The government said R. Kelly got herpes. You say I adopted a minor for sex. The government said R. Kelly adopted Rashonda Landfill for sex. Stop putting your daddy's story on me. Levi calling me a sexual deviant. The government called your cousin a sexual deviant. You said I'm running a criminal enterprise. Your cousin was convicted for running a criminal enterprise. Stop trying to put his story on me. I'm here with my opinion. My opinion is so fucking strong that you can't even sleep at night. If y'all would have put all that time y'all did into contacting the federal government and Homeland Security about y'all goddamn feelings, into contacting people that could have helped and stepped up and spoke out, you probably would have freed this man. You put so much time into trying to stop a protest, which we as American citizens have the right to do. I could protest tomorrow, next week, every day, every day, every day, and get the police to walk with me while I do it. It don't matter if you don't like it. It don't matter if you don't like it. It don't matter if you think it's not helping. It don't matter. I spent my time, my money, and I did what I got the right to do. It don't matter what you think I should have did, I should have said, I shouldn't do. It don't matter because this is America. I got the right to do what I want to do. When you start threatening protesters, Levi, them federal crimes. Those federal crimes to threaten a peaceful protest, to threaten peaceful assembly, which is the First Amendment, that's a federal crime, but you don't speak on that. You still crying over your mama, a motherfucker that you threw out is a casualty of war. You threw your mother out there. I didn't know nothing about your mama. You said it wouldn't be a protest on her grave. And every step I made, I had to make those steps knowing that you could be around any corner. So I took those steps over her motherfucking grave, nigga. And that's real. And cry about it. Cry about it. Now, your 50 pages that you put together didn't get you shit. Your order of protection shit didn't get you shit. What I did to your kids, said about your mother, didn't get you shit. And in the end, you still, all you motherfuckers, still gonna have to deal with me. You could play that recording of me crying about my mama over and over. Everything I said, I meant that shit.
Actually, that's where their aggression should be towards the people that they went to get you, because they didn't do a sufficient enough of a job to
But
obviously keep
them
you
people
locked
don't give a
up.
fuck about y'all.
They
Not only
should.
did they not give a fuck
And that's
about
who they
y'all,
went to. That's who they went to.
man, listen, they handed y'all over on the platter. Not only did they hand you over, they say that you have been threatening me and my family in federal paperwork. Levi, you think if you come across me, you got a chance to take my life, you should take my life. They give you the right to take my life when I'm stepping on free American ground. Then I feel that I got the same right to defend myself if I see your motherfucking ass. And it's straight like that. They go for you and anybody else. The government, this is not a country of laws, Levi. This is a country of men that make the laws that govern the land, you dumb bitch. Learn to read the Constitution. Learn the motherfucking Constitution.
It is facts. It is.
Talking about this a country of laws. Motherfucker, this ain't China.
They are man-made
Laws
laws.
that come and go. That
On a
come and
daily
go.
basis can change overnight on you. You won't even know.
Yeah,
You
because
don't even
we the people decide.
know. Well,
So, in the end, everything that y'all tried to put on me, the only thing it did was got R. Kelly an extra 10 years. The government only recommended 20 years. The judge banned me and gave R. Kelly 10 extra years the same day. Thank yourself for that, Levi, Dana, Prima Donna. Thank yourself for that. Thank yourself for your police reports, Lolo, E.T., all of that shit added up while that man had a federal trial going on. I'm walking the streets. I was just at the beach playing with my kids. I was just running through the streets of New York shopping, buying the best shit. R. Kelly and that eating stale food with diabetes. Ain't nobody gonna go out here and protest for him. Everybody that went out there, y'all wanted to run them away and talk shit about them. But let's see y'all do it. You think getting on here repeating 2020 gonna change 30 years? That shit ain't nothing but a smokescreen. You can't get on here and tell me about a case law that can support a factual basis that you can recommend to Jennifer Bonjean, but I bet you I can. I just don't do it because I just love seeing y'all being entertained by repeating 2020 hurt feeling shit. It used to make me mad. Now I feel flattered. As long as you were hurt by anything I said I did to you, I'm happy because I'm still winning. And anything I said I did to you, I meant that shit. And hear me when I say this shit, mama boy, I would never be a victim. I would never be a victim. You ain't never seen me play victim, none of that shit. I'd never be the victim. Show me calling police, getting well-being checks, asking for extra police on escorts, telling people you did this to me and you did that to me. I don't give a fuck what you did. Fuck you. And the judge, prosecutor, and the DA. Hey, Levi, we don't kneel to laws. We kneel to God. That's the difference between me and you. Talking all that Muslim shit over there getting drunk than a motherfucker.
Oh, I'll listen to all that hogwash. I like my mind clear in that piece. I'm like, what in the hell is they saying? No, I be over here. No, no, and no. This is not
That
deep.
nigga Dana say he on the visitation list.
Yeah,
Dana he on the visitation list.
yeah, he
And I
going.
just listened to him tonight say that he paid for the commercials.
What commercials?
The ones that Gucci say he paid for.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he
a
just he just said he paid for that.
and why would he be paying for all of that with all this freaking debt he has? Don't he care about his financial? Like,
No, he don't care about that. What he cares
uh,
about is rekindling his relationship with his daddy, not the relationship.
I knew you was gonna get one in me. I knew it was.
He trying to rekindle the relationship with his daddy,
Oh
not the
my
relationship,
God. What do you
not the.
think they gonna talk about on Visitors Day?
What they gonna talk about is pops. Don't worry. We didn't get D Bosky this time. We gonna get him next time. And once we get him in here, we
got
gonna
you
get
back
you out of
out
here.
here. We got your back out here. That was
Don't worry. We
out.
know they fit you up. And we got the whole terrorist organizations. They was doing protesters.
We gonna be taking them down. Oh my
He want to rekindle he want to rekindle his relationship with his daddy.
God.
Meanwhile,
I ain't mean to fuck Jasmine 16 times, man. I ain't mean to do that. I ain't mean to.
I got a little mad about that when she was liking you, and I did tell the feds a
I
couple of things you
did.
did, trying to get you out the
I
way.
was just jealous. And then I know I had read them all on the news with Gloria and stuff. I wasn't really behind that one. It might have been Kip. I don't know who all really set that up.
It's amazing how he can replay me saying fuck R. Kelly. I come before R. Kelly over and over, but you can run around with Diva Divine Light, who called him man a pedo, say that he's a monster, should be in prison. You can smile in her face. You can run out the courtroom with her from the PI and duck off into Dunkin' Donuts and go live and
I
disrespect
still was
everybody there.
fucking Mary, and I had to. I mean, but I know I heard what he was saying, but them steaks was good, Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
And while you chasing this guy trying to rekindle some father and son shit, your son chasing you down in the federal courtroom trying to rekindle a father and son relationship with you. It's just real fucked up. But I know if DJ can call your baby mama, and since I'm a serial stalker, we all know that D Bosky is a stalker. It's about time for me to call your baby mama. You call my baby mama at
Which
work.
one? He got a few of them too. The ugly big fat one you be putting up.
No, I want to talk to the one that talked to
Booty
DJ.
do. She got booty
No,
do.
no, not that one. With the arms on that Hulk Hogan.
Why you
With
don't
the
want to
arms.
call that one?
Did you see the arms on that Joker? Did you
Yeah.
see? Man, she clothesline your ass. It's over with.
No headlocks on. No head.
She dropped that forearm on the motherfucker. It's over with.
Oh shit.
For real. And you can tell she be using that thing on her stomach because her back be all tight and high in the upper part. Want to talk shit about Sarah. Sarah look better than that on any day.
Oh shit.
Any day.
I don't
Trust
like
and believe that.
signified. These some signified. Ooh, these people. I don't like signified. I just don't.
I
They
don't
got
like how you be so quick to get on the internet and say fuck me, fuck this, and fuck that, and then end it by I'm going to the federal government. They'll fix you, Levi. What type of shit is that? That's how they do it up top. Ain't nothing up top but Canada, bitch ass nigga.
So why was it okay? So because you didn't have a trial. Oh, you didn't have a trial. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Because I was like, why
Mm-mm.
people didn't show up for court appearance to testify?
Motherfuckers came up there when they gave me the
Do
deferred
you think if you
prosecution.
do you think that if you'd have had a trial, if you'd have went to trial on this, that they would have showed up?
I could tell you this: if I would have went to trial and seen any one of y'all, they would have had a good enough reason to put me in prison. And you can trust and believe that shit.
That had a good reason for you to get 30.
Hell yeah, because all that motherfucking let's go to trial shit would have went out the window. We would have been holding court as soon as I seen one of you motherfuckers.
Oh, this would have been a trial brawl.
And I ain't gonna even lie to you. It got to a point. I told them motherfucker. I swear to God, I told them. They was like, you can get this and you can get that and you can get that. I said, if I'm gonna get anything, I'm gonna look individual one in the eye.
Booker was gonna take immunity.
You can get the immunity, all that shit.
Free
But
house, 5 years of EBT.
they
Shit.
love to go off the point system.
Um,
I had my point system by all of my crimes been over 15 years old. My point system was a 0. That meant the most they could have gave me for that case if you went off the point system and you wanted to be honest was 0 to 6 months.
yeah, I remember you having and kind of learning it and getting some clarity in it when you was kind of doing the point thing with Drunken Larry for me. And I figured
Yeah,
for you to have
0 to 6 months, which I
some
know you probably was gonna be mad and
yeah,
try to give a nigga 18 months. In the
yeah.
end, that's not enough time to kill the revenge that'll burn inside of me. And they knew that shit because you could look at my background and you could see that I done seek revenge on plenty of motherfuckers and went through all the way with that shit. And they knew that if they would have did that shit without giving you a goddamn new home, new life, and new identity, it was gonna be way deeper than the shit that they already done fucked up with. That's why they let a motherfucker go. And don't think that I'm just sitting here talking some shit, because I swear to God on my life, I said, I'm not going to let it go. I said, I'm going to motherfucking take people to civil court. I said, it's going to go all the way to the end. I told them on the damn phone call, I want a motherfucking trial. We can go to trial tomorrow. We seen all of that shit. Primo Ho, you still in shock that a motherfucker didn't go to trial. Bitch, they was not taking me to trial. They gave me a deferred prosecution. What am I supposed to do? Fight when you're saying, I don't want to prosecute you? If you don't want to prosecute me and I can go on about my life, why wouldn't I agree to that? Especially when I don't have to admit any guilt. Now, you seen my deferred prosecution. Did I admit any guilt in there?
No, I didn't read it. No, not at all.
I didn't admit any guilt. I
So
never
what
said
is
I
it
did
that they
any.
read and where they reading from? Because I
They
know
never seen it. They never seen it. They never seen it. The only person seen it was you.
and so for you telling me that, and I know what I have in my phone, and I'm listening to them. That's why I have my woo child moments. Woo child, they motherfucking crazy as hell.
That's
You know,
just like with the interrogation video. Motherfucker want to say, oh, you snitched on somebody. There's people out here and in your chair right now that seen the whole interrogation. And the whole interrogation ain't nothing but about why did I do this to you? And why did I do this to him? And why did I say this about that? And why did I do that to that? They never
so
gave it.
the only video is what's being shown out here with no sound. And then they're interpreting or trying to interpret what is being said in the courtroom. That
What
video,
video?
the interrogation, has that
No,
been
it got sound. It got sound. It got
oh,
sound.
okay.
Hell yeah. And on that sound, I tell dude, I say, man, I know you work for them. I don't give a fuck about them. You work for them. I don't give a fuck about them. Why
You
would I?
tell the interrogator this.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't
People in
heard
the chat. People in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you heard it. Put a 2 in the chat if you didn't.
Yellow say yeah. Yellow say yeah.
Yeah, I told dude, I said, look, man, you work for them. I don't work for them. I know you got to do all this shit you doing for them, but I don't give a fuck about them. So for you to be saying I threaten them and all that shit, why would I threaten them? I live in Chicago. I could threaten some motherfuckers here. I don't know them. I don't give a fuck about them. Then the motherfucker go into, well, what happened with you and ET? Why did you get arrested in front of the courtroom? Then they tell you not to come back. I'm like, no, they never told me not to come back. When I stepped out of the courtroom and got detained, it was no charge that came from that. So I was free to go back to the courtroom. I didn't do anything at the courtroom to be banned from there.
Mm.
Then they go from that to, what about this recording? The same recording All Access Viral asked me about. Did you threaten these people in this group? Yes, the fuck I did. Why? Because the motherfuckers was playing games with me, and I don't play no motherfucking games. And they all took it.
What was your original charge? What charge was it that they picked you up on?
They originally picked me up for threats to government officials, threats to interstate commerce, and possession of a firearm by a felon.
So being interrogated, and the questions were pertaining to what you did to nobody's any and everybody else. What the
Right.
hell
It was not about the prosecutors. I know officials. It was never about none of that shit.
Yeah. Hey, lady.
One split second, we talked about the judge, and that Ian Dunnerly video, Propaganda 46. It was still up. So I got my phone. I slid over to the minute mark, showed him where I played with the BB gun. I was talking about Lolo and his order of protection at that time. It had nothing to do with the judge. He understood what I was talking about, and that's when he took that shit off.
Were you ever offered a time to speak to Donnelly?
Man, fuck that dyke bitch. Why the fuck would I want to speak to her?
Because
That bitch wasn't my judge.
Well,
She
yeah,
wasn't my judge. No, if she would have been my judge, I would have got the fuck up out of that courthouse so fucking fast. If that bitch would have been my judge, if she would have been my judge, Pap, I wouldn't even went to court. If she would have been my judge, I would have went on strike.
Did she press the issue to have you charged? Did she have
No,
anything?
she didn't. No, she didn't. Because by this time they getting the full video.
So it was what other people felt that you had done to her.
And they warning these people, and they taking the warnings and just acting because they think it ain't enough time to investigate.
Hell, she probably don't even know that nothing was done to her. The people.
Right. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They saying that you got to get this man now because he's coming in 3 days.
Right.
So they didn't have no time to react. They just went into security measures to protect her safety and other people's safety. They didn't do an investigation. Then you got the truth calling the lady courtroom, telling her they don't sending some vice lords to her. So of course she, she got a picture of me with a BB gun in my hand talking about Lolo, but she think it's about her. So you putting this shit together. It was a whole bunch of shit that had to be separated and gone over.
Yeah, broken down and explained.
Yeah, it was all these allegations with not enough time.
Going on to some charges that had nothing to do with the charges of what. So you had to break down.
What I want to know is, do she feel bad?
Yeah.
I want to know, do she feel bad after giving this man 10 extra years, all because you felt one of his fans threatened you, and then you found out it wasn't true?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Levi, you got that man 10 extra years. You got to live with that, bro.
So instead of her just giving what the prosecutor defense, I guess, recommended, they were okay with 20.
Yeah.
And she went and took it to 30, and you're saying that it was.
She said, not only am I taking it to 30, she said, I have my mind. She said, I had my mind made up. That's what she said first.
She did.
I had my mind made up already. Then she gave him 30. On that same day, she had banned me from the courtroom.
And just those words alone, and we're talking about an appeal. You don't think that that's a good statement to put for Bonjing?
I wish.
You don't think so?
I wish that you can hear what the judge told me after I got the deferred prosecution. That's something I'll let Yellow tell you if she feel like telling you. But he said some very, very disgusting things to me, to the point where when I walked out the courtroom, the public defender was telling me she never seen him get out of his body like that. She never seen him talk to nobody like that.
Yeah, she said all of them were supposed to be in phase 2. Okay.
The fucking judge told me, if you would have took a deferred prosecution, I was finna take you into custody. I wanted to look the man in the eye that said, fuck me. Did you say fuck me? Before I could even respond, my lawyer was like, Yanni, you're badging him. He already took the thing, this shit over. There's no need for this. No, I want to hear from him. I want to hear from him. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, yeah. I was in the house for 10 months. After being frustrated, I told y'all exactly how I feel. And if you don't understand how I feel after being falsely accused and sitting in the house for 10 months and losing motherfucking wages with 2 kids running around and the dog goddamn barking, then you must not be human then. And I thank you for the mental health evaluation situation you put me in. I very much appreciate that. That's what I told him. But little do he know, I thank you for that so I can add it into my motherfucking lawsuit that I suffer from this mentally.
Go through the
Yeah,
mental. Yeah.
yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And I was paying for that shit on house arrest and 2 phone bills that was in the federal custody that I ain't even have.
Okay. So are you still on probation or
I'm not on nothing, man. I'm out here smoking
You're
weed,
not.
Pat. Pat,
Yeah.
I'm out here blowing big blunts. Didn't you hear what I told pre-trial?
Yeah.
I'm blowing big blunts. I'm doing what the fuck I want to do, Levi. And you know why pre-trial not involved in this situation? Because most times they
He is,
are all the
yeah.
way until it's over.
He did. He did humble himself. So I kind of knew he was, because at some point it's like, okay, you're not gonna get anything through to these people instead of trying to explain to them. So you right with that one, Yellow. And I saw it. You can see Scooby-Doo becoming more calm at handling. And that's, to me, that was the only way to win with them. Yeah, start giving them all all this.
I never seen people do what they did. So it just what this did was just taught me internet warfare. I know about the streets.
Yeah.
Y'all just told me what the internet do. That's all.
Mhm.
I just ain't got time to be on hold with no agent, giving him my information, calling some other. When y'all doing that shit, that bring you on the investigation too.
And
And maybe on
I wonder, how do all of these official people feel being recorded and not knowing and put out here? Like, what in the heck? I don't know. How are
you
they
got
able to
you
use
got
this
like you got the
as
truth.
information?
The
Oh, you
truth,
was talking about the judge. Okay. Okay.
Melinda Stewart, you calling Ann Donnelly courtroom, and I'm not even in her courtroom, telling her bailiff that I'm threatening that lady. Then telling her that I got some vice lords after you, but then you go right on YouTube talking about how you gonna get my mama kicked out her house. And that's all good because my mama ain't got no Section 8. My mama worked all her life, came up here from the Delta, Mississippi. They don't believe in no goddamn link card, none of that shit. My mama been working so goddamn hard, I had to tell her ass, you about to quit. I don't give a fuck if you don't want to quit. You quitting. That's it. It's enough.
Hey,
So when
Monet.
you sit up and talking about you don't get a motherfucker kicked out of Section 8 house, my sister is a lawyer. My mama worked all her life. They live together. You ain't getting nobody kicked out of shit. But you over there, right across the street from the dope spot, literally the dope spot, the trap spot, the hooker spot. And since you want to get motherfuckers kicked out of shit and you got Section 8, let's see how this shit work. Because one thing y'all exposed me to is cyber terrorism. And one thing I learned is, see, when I got shot years ago, I took the shit, I closed my mouth, I didn't say nothing. And I told myself, if you could dish it in, you could dish it out. If you
Yeah.
can put the federal government on me, swat me and all this shit, then just be prepared because I learned from you to do the same shit back to y'all. I'm on the do not contact list. Thanks to y'all got all in federal paperwork. It's people that's harassing me and my family. You cannot show any paperwork where the government, our government officials in any capacity are saying that D. Boski is stalking and harassing you and your family. You can't do that because it never happened. But I can do that. I can do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of lessons learned. It is, Yellow. So Monet says you gotta watch the replay. Girl, take your time. Take your time. Get that work in first. Ain't nothing
And
like
all access viral, he think he took that video down, but I got it. The whole video.
record. You gotta send it to
Yeah.
me.
I got the whole damn video, man. Come on
Yeah.
now. I've been in this shit. Like I said, these people that made me better at the internet. That's
I
all
just
y'all do.
I just thought that was very unbalanced of him, but that's his show. I don't feel like that he would have gotten himself caught up in anything except for listening to Bookham, but cuss and fuss at him. And he went that.
It wasn't like
All
I
right,
told him a lie.
going to the
I could
street
see you
level.
wanting to take it down because it was misinformation, but it was all true, backed up by black and white. It was not a lie.
But he opened the door for that. You invited
You
him
open
up.
the door to us,
You
but you got to think
addressed him
about.
in
Listen,
that chat.
I gotta also tilt towards him too,
Yeah,
because he didn't ask to be put in this situation, and that situation got real because
yeah.
the paperwork went deeper, which he didn't expect, and Bozo didn't expect either. Now
Mhm.
you are exposing a government informant on YouTube Live. This is kind of
Yeah,
crucial.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I wouldn't want him to get no heat from that. And I
yeah.
can't believe as a double agent, you would get on the damn live and show your face.
He don't care. He think them
Yeah,
nappy.
he don't care now because he thinks if he posts my mother address, somebody gonna come. Let me start here. Dude that came and shot at me, his mama stay right down the street from my mama. If you thought he was gonna go to my mama house and do some shit, he know I was gonna go right to his mama house and do some shit. Dude called me and he apologized. Yellow was on the three-way. Dude was about to pay for his damages and everything. That's why I never made a police report against him when his baby mama went and got him locked up. His brother got his ass smoked for pump faking. He is known to carry a gun. He went up in the club talking shit to niggas that had several guns. So when he went for his little one gun, them niggas beat him to it and smoked his ass. That's what happened. I didn't say I was there. I didn't say I got it done. But the streets talking, everybody know what the fuck happened. Now, how's the police gonna charge anybody when that man died with a gun on him? So anybody that get caught for shooting, you can say that they feared for their life. You was reaching. That's mutual combat here in Illinois. That's what they call that. Mutual combat. If you got a gun, you talking shit, he talking shit, y'all walk out the motherfucking club reaching for shit. If you die, the other person can avoid being charged with the gun and the murder because the right to life outweigh the right to law. So that will eliminate the gun. And if you had a gun and you was participating in an argument leading out of the club, that's mutual combat.
Well, let me add on to that because what I also saw with him trying to enforce and relive something that he was not involved in, should not involve himself in. You know it. Sometimes it plays out reversible. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna get sick of you steady bringing, exposure and light and stuff to them. You never know what
Right.
people
And
are
that's
on.
what
You don't
when
know
he
what
was
they're doing in their lives. You
when he
don't know.
was doing that,
Watches, yeah.
when he was doing that, I thought it was very entertaining. When I
Yeah.
seen Levi and him rushing into their family stuff and trying to help the family and put their business out, y'all thinking these some regular people that you could just get in tune with and you gonna work this number. That's not what's going on. That's
Play
not
out
what's
that
going on
way.
at all.
Actually turn bad for you because they gonna start turn around and be like, want you to shut it down. You bringing some attraction to them that they don't want.
And then you going live talking about Deboski, you sending this dude's son emails telling him that I did something to his daddy that you can't verify. You just lying to this man's son after he just lost his father and think that this is something that you're going to bring in as part of your YouTube beef with me when it don't even make no sense. And on top of that shit, none of them even know dude that got killed, his baby mama was my girlfriend before she was his girl. She was his baby mama was my girlfriend like 12 years ago. So they know exactly who Deboski is. They know who I am. Man, when dude that came and did that shooting shit and all that shit, he didn't even know who I was. What sparked that whole thing is me not backing down from him knocking on my door while you sitting up here acting like nobody ever opened the door. If then nobody ever opened the door, why did he shoot into the house? He shot at me in front of my house as I was outside. Now, you could be a motherfucking small brain peon to just think that he came to my house and did something to me and there was no repercussions behind it. But anybody that's smarter than the fifth grader know it was more to it than that. And the fucking police and the government knew it was more to it than that. And that's why they tried to use this old fake ass individual one to search my house to look for weapons and then find shit. Part of that shit was part of the reason that they was coming too, because they wanted to, you know, try to establish something that could never be established.
Mm.
Asking me to hand over motherfucking camera footage from my house and all that shit that I was never gonna hand over. And I never motherfucking picked dude out of lineup. I wrote a statement on him.
It's just a lot of things that sometimes you just can't merge yourself. You should not want to merge yourself into. Like that's Chicago stuff. Those guys,
Right.
they
Right.
what the
Ain't no
fuck?
motherfuckers out here trying to get no goddamn justice in the courtroom. They motherfuckers trying to get justice in the street. But you sitting up here putting my motherfucking name all over the internet, reaching out to that man's son, all that shit, boy, you bogus as hell.
And
Why
I
would
don't
you reach out to that man's son and tell him I did something to his daddy if you can't prove it? Then you want to say, well, I'm going to send you this recording of what he said on live. Again, I can say whatever I want to say. What proof do you have that what I'm saying is true? You don't. If you think I told you the real story on a fucking YouTube live, you an idiot. Dude know what the fuck happened. He
and
thought he was gonna
the thing with that too, though, Scooby, right? If you're on here telling it yourself, it didn't take for him to come back to interject himself in. He could have done the record and sent it down there and let the people go investigate and do their own damn work. What are you still jumping in for it for? Don't you trust what he said? So why did he have to spin it and put more sauce onto it and start contacting these people? Like
the
that's
same, the same way I go all access viral. I'm talking
yeah.
about my case and with the 3 prosecutors. Why you come and put yourself in it? I'm talking about dudes shooting at me. You come put yourself in that. I'm supposed to be the stalker, but you are the one that's continuing to attach yourself to my opinion. You are continuing to attach yourself to my community chat, my YouTube lives. This is a continuation behavior of uh, stalking and harassment, and the foundation of your stalking and harassment is some shit from 2020. I only seen this man once in my life. How you calling law enforcement telling them you was part of a group with me and we fell out? What group was I in? I ain't never been with the Dream Team. The Enterprise was out before the Dream Team. The Enterprise was out before the Farm.
Mm.
The Enterprise was out before my brother's keeper. And if I got over 1,000 subscribers, why would I care if 8 people left me? But 8 people left me, and because they left me, my whole world crashed, and I needed to go and do all this nefarious stuff because I wouldn't get no cash app if they don't give me a cash app. Yet, when I get to the next part of this paperwork, wait till you see how much money I was making on YouTube when the 8 of y'all left. I made so much money that the federal government wanted to know who the fuck was supporting me. While even though I was on YouTube being calm, smooth, and collective, I always got donations. Always. I never had to hate on nobody page or donation. I sold shirts. My shirts really sold. My leggings really sold. I sold jogging suits at $60 a pop. All y'all want to come in here, you making money off R. Kelly. Ain't we all? You just mad your bag ain't as big as mine. How you gonna say somebody trying to come up off R. Kelly, but you get a whole house off R. Kelly? How you gonna say somebody trying to come up off R. Kelly, but you get a car off R. Kelly? Get the fuck out of here. Motherfuckers coming up off them. They like you or they don't like you. It's that simple.
Yeah.
If you ain't donating to a motherfucking channel, why the fuck is you watching them? You ain't got enough time to hit the like button. You ain't got enough time to motherfucking show some appreciation. You know motherfuckers spending their time on this shit, entertaining you, spending time with you, and you know some of the shit that they say you like and agree with. Why can't you be of courtesy in some type of way? At least hit the damn like button. You gonna be here tomorrow? You gonna be here when motherfucker go live again? We've been here for years. We deserve some type of appreciation. We took the bumps and bruises, putting our face on the screen and then putting our feet on the ground. But all that get watered down from some people that wasn't even there. Dana could have came to our protest.
Huh.
Oko came their ass out there.
Think,
Levi could have came to
busy
a
planning
protest.
the execution. He too busy, in my opinion, sitting back planning the execution because he wanted only his protest to be the only one, out.
Right. What's any different from his protest to our protest? If we was fucking and sucking at protesters, you eating booty? You sleeping with Jasmine?
And fucked.
Right. You sleeping with Jasmine, you eating booty?
Wait a
Well,
minute. He fucked before the protesters though. He had red.
I fucked ET before the protest. I fucked ET before the protest. She left the next day. But she made it seem like she was here in Chicago during the protest time. She came before, she left after that interview with them brothers. She was not there for no protest. She came on Thursday, left Friday before the protest even started, never walked the streets with us or anything. That was on my own time. And that's just stating the facts. That woman was of age. What was illegal about it? What did I need to confess to? What did I need to own up to?
Lady
I'm
D was
getting pussy. If I'm getting pussy off R. Kelly name, if I'm getting pussy off R. Kelly name, since that was something that I seen people putting in their title, you getting pussy off R. Kelly name. If I'm getting pussy off R. Kelly name, why you sending full pornos to your support group of yourself? Dick pictures to your support group of yourself. Why is you people driving across states for people that they met at protesters? Why is Hollywood marrying a motherfucker she met at a protest? But all this shit fall on me though. Come on now. R. Kelly bring people together. His music bring people together, and I ain't got a lot of pussy off his music. Period. Point blank. I'm not ashamed of that. That's this. I even heard Lil Durk rapping a song that he used to be fucking the R. Kelly. Young nigga turned up fucking in a minivan. So, R. Kelly's part of the culture. Them cornfield motherfuckers, they doing the most. They doing the most.
Oh, Beauty said that wasn't even his shit. That was the Him Too protest.
Right. That he threw himself down there on and then wanted to sleep in their motherfucking Airbnb. I mean, if you know R. Kelly, to me, you shouldn't be getting no donation.
He shouldn't be in no Airbnb. He should be able to over there one of them damn mansions. Shit, what the hell is you in the Airbnb for? Why he ain't get his own room in the trunk?
I know I stayed at the Trump. He ain't never stepped foot in the damn Trump. He ain't never been in the Trump.
24 hours. They said over 20 hours.
That motherfucker ain't about to come up off $400, $500 for one night at the Trump. I stayed at the Trump. While all these people talking shit about I wouldn't have got a party bus if it went for them. I wouldn't have fed people if it went for them. I wouldn't have got a hotel room either if it went for you either, huh? My hotel room cost just as much as the party bus and the goddamn food. I was there before the protest and after the protest. At $200 a night, I stayed down there the whole fucking week. That's $1,400. The goddamn party bus, $800. The food, $300. That's another $1,100. Just because motherfucking somebody put you in a house or bought you a car, don't think that everything you see somebody with or that they got came from some fucking donation shit, nigga. You don't own no businesses. Wait till you see that paperwork. Wait till you see that. I know people done seen me build I used to go live and build motorcycles on my live. 3-4 hours, putting the whole motherfucking shit together on the goddamn live. I got a skill. I got a trade. I'm gonna make money regardless. Now I've been doing cars and shit. I'm going into other shit. I'm gonna make money regardless. Regardless. All this you broke shit. You ain't never seen me asking for people to help me travel for some shit I wanted to support. If I'm on house arrest for 10 months and I'm saying I'm trying to get me a lawyer, I'm thinking about getting a lawyer, I'm on house arrest. I can't take care of my own needs and my own self. That's a whole different story than being an able-bodied man out here on free land, able to go and make money. They give minimum wage right now is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I live in the suburbs. Ain't nothing out here but warehouses. I know how to drive a goddamn forklift, stand up, and a cherry picker. I'm gonna make money regardless, cocksucker. And I ain't got a motherfucker pose as a goddamn security guard putting my life on the line to do it. I ain't gotta stay up all night watching you shake your ass, blowing my eardrum out either. Straight the fuck up. And if I really wanted to do some upper echelon shit, I'd go into some paralegal shit. I know the law. Levi, you think a motherfucker can't comprehend. Your ass can't comprehend. That's why you take shit that people say at places that you wasn't at and make a whole narrative out of it. It's gonna shock your ass like a motherfucker when you see me up in Detroit. And it's gonna shock the hell out of Fat Boy when I come to Atlanta. And when I come to Atlanta, I'm coming to Atlanta like Master P and No Limit Records by my motherfucking self. Now, true enough, I got 3-4 homies down there. I'm hanging with them. I'm visiting them. They're gonna be around me. So don't be oh, you needed somebody to come with you. I'm coming by myself. True enough, I'm gonna bring T Baby with me because nigga, I don't travel without I need to get mine off. I don't want to be, I don't. We all know what this is. I can't be doing all this shit, and I need a woman around me. I ain't no nigga that just want to hang with niggas. And anything I ever been to prison of, when y'all talk about my background, it went for killing no kids, it went for taking advantage of no kids, it went for hurting no innocent people. Anything I went to jail for, it was a learning process, and I probably did that shit in the process of learning. And I'm not ashamed of that shit. You niggas out here ain't never been to prison for nothing, don't got no felonies, got every right to carry a gun, but get on the internet and act like you would do the shit that I done did. Every time I broke the law, I knew it would be a consequence. I knew I would be in the courtroom. I knew I can go in the belly of the beast. But when I broke that law, I made that decision that I'm bigger than the law, and what the fuck going on right now ain't gonna stop me. The law ain't gonna stop me. And I made that choice. And every time I had to deal with the consequences from those choices I made, I held my head up high and I went through the process. And I lived to tell about it. So when y'all trying to act like because I got arrested, it made me lesser than the person, most of y'all that's saying that are acting like that done been arrested yourselves. Prima donna, you got arrested in a fucking car, license plate all bogus, drugs inside the vehicle. Dana J, you got arrested for forging motherfucking checks. Levi for Kelly, you think your background is sealed? And then the other nigga tried to play like, because it's 25 years later, you never been to prison. So with that being said, we all been the goddamn arrested. We all got a goddamn mug shot. What make your mug shot any better than mine? The only difference between your mug shot and mine is I was standing on business. If I'm shooting a gun into a motherfucking crowd, why the fuck is you on YouTube playing with me? Think about that. Think about that. I'm the only motherfucker who actually pulled up on motherfucking YouTube Live getting down on a motherfucker. Y'all just beating on tables and talking shit. And some of y'all gonna be in court shortly, and you don't even see it coming. Y'all don't even see it coming. When I tell you I learned the power of the internet warfare, I also learned that if a legal glasshouser, the officer of the court that was afforded to me by me being a United States citizen, has a key into the judicial process by being a trusted officer of the court, I made sure to make friends and make bridges. I don't got to write a 50-page report, Levi. I can send a motherfucking email. I can send a direct call.
Exactly. You build that client, you build it off of honesty, integrity. You can build it. You'd be surprised.
And I
Listen,
don't even, you know what, I'm going to shut up after this, Pat.
okay, go.
You know what I've been building it for? Huh?
No, go ahead.
Do you know why I was building it for?
Why were you building this for? Because I don't want to guess.
so I could talk to Agent Ryan with Homeland Security in the Eastern District of New York that was the lead prosecutor on R. Kelly's case about his lead witness in my case.
You think that you'll have that opportunity to do so with your strategy?
In 90 more days, this case is going to be over with. He knows that he dropped the ball. He knows he can't pursue me on not only this case, but anything that may have been garnished or obtained out of devices that was obtained from my residence. So you have nothing else to pursue. At this point, you are a person that dropped the ball and due to the United States versus Vivian case, can be held accountable for giving false or misleading testimony to the grand jury. Now, me and you can strike a deal. We can strike a deal after the fact where I won't come after you civilly if you do your due diligence and charge that man with swatting me and my family with a federal crime. Yeah. That's why we building bridges. That's why we building bridges.
Oh, okay. So in other words, it's either his ass or they. He need to pick his struggle too.
Yeah, because if you don't do it, then if I prove that you knew that this guy gave you false information, you proceeded with that false information, you did not hold him accountable for that false information, then you should. The only way you can get up out of this is by charging him. That's the only way. Yeah, and I don't want to, beef with you, disrespect you. I just want to hit you up in about 90 more days and say, hey, I'm Christopher Gunn, the guy that you interrogated. And I told you the truth. And I also told you that I will come after you civilly. However, I would like you to finish doing your job and charge this person who has, during the course of your investigation, harassed and stalked my family.
Right your wrongs and make them right.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he might. Yeah. Because one thing he told me, if you keep it real with me, I'm going to keep it real with you. And I kept it all the way real. I said, did you do this, that? Yeah, I did that. Did you threaten that? Yeah, I did that. Same way I did all assets viral. And one thing y'all got to know, the ones who be talking about he did this to me, he did that to me, the moment you be like, yeah, I did do that shit because they did this. You see how easy that shit go away? It should just go away with y'all. Stop acting like because I did something to you, you didn't do nothing to me. But yeah, though, Pap, I couldn't be on no damn all access viral without coming back to where I was on to begin with. Your platform, when I first got about that jam, I was on your shit. And when I saw you on and you got the link, I had to reroute to the sector.
You did. And let's put on record, because they like to talk. We've had our rendezvous. We've talked behind the scenes. We've argued behind the scenes, all of that, then call each other names. But I ain't never going to no level with somebody off of the internet. I know how to whoop and bluff and do and all of
Pat,
that
when I
stuff.
told you don't come back to the protest and you came back to the protest, it really made me so mad. I had to reach out to Homeland Security and let them know that this shit is bigger than me. They need to go and get Pat. She coming down to the protest and she threatening everybody.
I didn't even care. I was coming. I told you I was coming. I
should have called.
I'm coming for R. Kelly.
I had to call Homeland Security when you came down there. You didn't know that when you came down there, all of us, we called Homeland Security. We let it be known that we felt threatened.
And I still was walking. And then my day, nobody can't do nothing to me. Nothing.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That was a good protest because them dudes on the street, then you see them playing them drums.
Yeah, we stopped there.
The bucket boys. The bucket boys, they was getting it. We was like, we got this chant.
I saw you donate to them. I'm standing right there. I see you dropping the money.
Yeah. We was like, we got a chant. They was like, how the chant go? We was like, one man ain't no enterprise government. And we were saying that he started tapping it out a little bit like that. I'm like, yeah. And then we was sitting right there. That was tight. That was tight. The bucket boys doing that. I need to go back and get that.
That I choose to cherish as that I choose to cherish, right, is how well everybody spoke on behalf of Mr. Kelly. All of the other shit around, I ain't care a bit more about
all the other shit around, to be honest with you, and I ain't gonna sugarcoat. All the other shit can't be verified.
Yes, it's just it's just
If you see us on the camera walking down the street with the police, you see
uh,
us in the protest. After that, whatever we did, we human. We can do that shit. We paid our money. We paid our way. I would fucking drink a bottle. I would smoke a blunt. I would go to the casino. I would go to a strip club. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do.
I knew that one. None of that stuff was the reason that Mr. Kelly was in, and it sure the damn wasn't gonna be a reason to get him out. So I wasn't paying.
But I
I
can,
didn't give a fuck about that shit.
but I can tell you this: I'm not about to walk with a police escort and commit crimes and degrade people and nothing like that. We walked with a police escort, and they said that they were so happy to be part of our protest and that we was the most peacefulest people they ever seen.
Stayed out there all day, even over at the on Harrison. They stood right, rode their bikes, they hung out. They hung
Not
around.
only that, we adopted a homeless person through the course of this stuff and got him a new bicycle, got
Little
him
Levi.
clothes.
Where little Levi?
I don't know, man. You know, when I was in the MCC though, I looked out the window and I thought I saw him.
Levi showed up with some new Air Ones on, and I was like, "What the hell?" He didn't clean. He was
I think
riding his
Loyalty bought
bike
them
now.
for him.
Oh,
Loyalty, yeah, because his bike got took when he got on the bus with us. He
oh,
left
okay.
his bike, so Loyalty bought him a bike and brought him some Air Force Ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-uh.
we
When he
fed that
first showed
man.
up, we was like, "Who is this?" And it was like, "Oh, well, that's your security, I guess." We thought that was your security. I said,
Hell no.
and
He
then
was a
next thing you
dude.
know, it was
He
cleaned
he
up.
rode up on me when we was protesting. He was like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "This is R. Kelly protest." He was
Hey,
like, "Can I be in it?" I said, "Yeah, grab this banner right here." And he
he was
took it.
fucking that food up off that grill though, for real though. Keep it real.
Man, he was fucking that fool. Not only that, he took 3 plates with him.
He was fucking that
He
food.
took 3 plates with him.
I was like, "Oh, he's hungry."
And Larry over there talking about y'all eating quarter chickens with no season. Negro, the motherfucker that was cooking on that goddamn grill for us has been on cooking shows. He has won awards. Like this motherfucker done been flew out to cook for people and shit like that. He a real cook.
My mama always said you can't argue with someone that you already know the facts to. It just
Right.
and I'm
Like,
grown.
come on, man.
Like, shut up, about
And the same way we was out there barbecuing
yeah,
would have been
still
the same
arguing.
way I would. The same way we was out there barbecuing would have been the same way I would have been out barbecuing with my kids and family. It would have been the same shit.
Well, I do it by myself out back. I was yesterday.
It was your idea. It was your idea.
I barbecue at home out back by myself. Ain't gotta be nobody here. I turn
I
my
was
little
not thinking about no goddamn barbecue. One pop
I
said
did.
we could
I did.
barbecue in
That's
Grand
all.
Park. I
I
said,
know.
well, damn, that's where we go barbecue at.
They did. They did.
And people say I hijacked at your protest.
Yeah.
I really tried to give you that bullhorn and tell your ass I'm just carry the banner.
And I also told you why there was a reason for me in the bag. I discussed
And,
that.
and, and, and I ain't gonna lie, that right there, what you did created Deboski.
Uh-huh.
Because as I'm walking, I did not have a chance.
Oh,
I did not even know what the fuck I was gonna say. But shout out to Oh So Lovely. She all in my ear, these dirty dog heads and this, that, this. And I'm trying to stick to the topic, but she's still in my ear. And
the
that's how we
last
got this.
words that I had with Oso was we were sitting by the almost by the lions, kind of, right there. And you guys were talking about the red, I think the red and white part. And she says, "Well, Papoose, are you going?" And I said, "I'm not going to be able to make it because I was taking my mom out for dinner." And she's like, "Oh, you know," I said, "No, I'm not gonna make that one because I had been promising my mom I'm gonna swing by, I'm gonna swing by." That's the reason why I didn't go to the party. And I left there, drove
Pap,
by.
that party, Pap. I, you have seen all the bus activity.
Yeah.
The party was way better than all of that shit. The party was better than any bus ride I ever been on. Because when them people came in there, I didn't even know who the fuck they was.
Oh, okay.
I've
You
been
still
walking
need
down the
to pay
street
a
with you
fine.
all these times.
Off the record, I still think that you need to pay a fine to the enterprise pot over there. I mean, you Miss Dolly in April, she dress was a little up and she was kind of doing the donkey donk.
I
Oh,
ain't lift Darlene April dress up. I told her get up off me. I told Darlene April we can't dance together. You
I'm
tweak.
just saying, you need to get a fine for that. They need to
No, I
fine you.
did not dance with Darlene April.
Like
I did
that
not.
shit. Yeah, well, I don't look. I got
No,
the video. I got
no,
the
I never danced with Darlene April. I told her we can't dance.
video.
Shit, I can't put this wood on Darlene. I can't put this wood on her.
Oh Lord.
I can't put this wood on her.
That
Darlene gonna be calling me over there asking me to change her life. But I tell you this though, Darlene April stayed about 3 blocks from my blood brother.
Yeah. You said you were gonna go and visit. Have you did your visitor?
I
Like
never went and visited Darlene April because you doing too much indulging
with the
into
gold,
situ
with the
into
kid.
you do too much indulging into shit. I just don't see what prima donna don't know is I did not know Darlene April. What I saw was Darlene April asking somebody to take her from that group that had over 10,000 people in it to the courthouse. I looked at the courthouse, said, damn, that's right by my brother's house. I told her, I'll take you, man. I went, I got her, I took her to the courthouse. She already had her own agenda. She already had her mind made up on what she wanted to do. What she felt is my address is being put out there, people saying they're going to attack me. And if I go there, I think somebody might attack me. I said, well, I know ain't nobody going to attack me. I'll take you there. And I took her.
She called me because I remember coming across the article, and I did a live on it. So she called me right after the live, and she talked to me she was at the doctor's office for about 20 minutes. After that, and she's explaining it just how you explain it. That was a done deal with me, man. I'm done with that shit. That's something that he did as a favor. Like
Yeah,
it
just,
never changed. Her story was the same as your story. And I was like, oh, I'm done with that. I'll hurry up outline. This ain't even worth
and I keep telling prima donna the same story, man. It was, I promise you, I knew that she knew R. Kelly in some capacity. I could just feel it. She never had played the recording of him singing to her mom,
him.
but I just knew that she knew him in some capacity, and I knew that if you want to handle something legit, the best place to handle it is in the courtroom, and I'll take you there. Now I did overlook her paperwork and put my little input in it, but her lawsuit was not about R. Kelly. Her lawsuit was about Jerronda Pace's book. And in that book, Jerronda Pace was laying out how to seduce an older man and lie about your age as a minor. And that's a book that nobody should have that's underage. That's why we went after her book. And
Well,
she took the
to
book
me,
down.
Kaleidoscope has a strategy, and now that she has a bro out here, her strategy is to make all propaganda and try to make it stick. And of
It's
course,
cool.
it's a trigger. If she can trigger you, and now you're coming out, or anybody else coming out, and
All I'm saying is,
dragging
look.
pitch word, yeah,
I get what she's doing. The
yeah.
only problem I have with what you're doing is you're not going to take Dana J's protests and blend it with our protests. You're
Mhm.
not going to take Jasmine and blend her with me. You're not
Mhm.
going to take Kip and blend him with me. I only talk to Kip on phases because you keep putting that up there when I'm in front of the Scooby Doo truck. I only talk to Kip on phases because Kip has phases to talk to me.
But she talked to Kip. She did a whole live with Kip. So
Right.
how is people supposed to perceive that?
All
He
I'm saying,
kept phases and did a live
every
over
time I
on
do,
the show.
every time I do an interview, like I did with All Access Viral, the same way I did with Kip, they all got to come down because in the midst of it, you're going to see raw and uncut truth. Why don't my interview with Kip go back up
Mhm.
from phases? And look at that interview. He told me he don't know Dana like that. Dana
Yeah.
don't know R. Kelly like that. These are things she didn't take out of that interview. You know, it's my right to give a motherfucker a ride if I want to give him a ride. It's my right to do a protest if I want to do a protest. It's my right to have an opinion about what I see on the government prosecution with someone if I think it's unjust. That's all of these things are my right, Levi.
I got a question. So with the propaganda that she ties together through her kaleidoscoping, right? She's saying that you and Darlene and y'all got some part of this whole setup, whatever, against Mr. Cali.
Maybe
Now,
Darlene do.
what
I don't know.
what part of you all have to do with all of those individuals that testified against him? Are, how
All
how
I
how does that bring y'all
like
in
I
with him?
like I'm gonna say again. I had never seen Darlene April. I talked to her before picking her up and taking her to that court to file that lawsuit. I don't even think that she even believed that I really was gonna pull up.
Mhm. What I'm
So
saying is
I
that
didn't know
she
the lady.
definitely have to tie y'all to all of those individual females that took that stand in order for her story to have any,
When me and
because those
Darlene
are the people that
exchanged,
did talk. Like, what?
me and Darlene April exchange did not go past Jerronda Pace's book. It was about her book. The lawsuit was about her book
Mm.
and the damages that her book has did to R. Kelly's reputation when he could be out here doing this and that and this and that and that and this and that for his fan club.
Well, if
You have-
that's the case and that's the scenario, then there would be some cheering from Kaleidoscope then. Yay, because
But
you
how could she cheer?
exposing
How
um
could she cheer on that? How could
Ron.
she how could she cheer on that and in the same breath say people are witness intimidating all of these people? See,
I agree. I agree with that.
when they went to me, they tried to say me putting Ann Donnelly on the thumbnail was a threat because I had Ann Donnelly on there, Nature Boy, on that one R. Kelly propaganda series that I had.
Mm.
And I showed them her with and Diva Divine Light and several other people who had the prosecutors on their thumbnails and Donnelly on their thumbnails. I was not the only person with a government official on the thumbnail, but the government didn't know that until I showed her page. When the government seen your page and seen every video was about R. Kelly, they knew that that super fan shit with me, it couldn't even fit. People say, why did I call myself R. Kelly Jr.? I put my head on his body. I put my head on his body because I already seen what was coming. I already was saying that this is what y'all trying to do to me. And that's what you tried to do with the same people that was involved on this case and agents on his case. So it was not like it was in my head. Y'all knocked those channels down, all of those channels, 7 times because those channels would not only show you my rebuttal, but I would play what you did for me to rebuttal. You needed to erase that to only leave a trace of my response so I could look like the crazy guy that's attacking you.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
T Baby said, why you ain't shout me out on viral access? Because
I see she
that nigga
popped
went
in
left.
late. I seen T Baby come in a little bit after the chat kind of really got rolling.
Right. That nigga went left, T Baby. And when he went left, he tried to blindside me with, then you do this to that person, and this person. Yeah, the fuck I did. But they did it to me. And back to the topic, you know. And then the shit went so left that he made me show part of the paperwork that I wasn't gonna show. But wait until you see the actual people that they investigated. And
Mm.
some of those people in your
Wait,
chat
I
right
want to
now.
see. I want to see. I can't wait when you drop it. You got the percentage.
Yeah.
How many more days you
I
got?
believe you was in there too. I think you in there too.
For what?
You gave me a cash app.
I thought it was like in 2019 or 21. I bought a
They
t-shirt
went,
too. I bought a t-shirt and you gave me t-shirts for the girl.
yeah, and all that shit was in the anybody that had did a cash app exchange with me.
Oh Lord, it's
Man, I
going
bought motorcycle
down.
parts.
I'm going down.
They got Atmos Love in that motherfucker.
Oh, not Atlas.
I'm like, Atmos, he the op. I'm like, he a op. How the fuck you trying to say he with me? That nigga ain't with me, he a op. Well, we see here he gave you $130. I said it's safe for a goddamn window on my car. Car that they broke the window out of. What are you talking about? Like that nigga the odds, man. He ain't with me. I don't know what he did, but I can't vouch for nothing there. He may have did. He just was sending a donation. Molly Harris, they was on her ass.
Wow.
Molly Harris was like a major contributor that I never even knew until I seen that paper.
Yeah.
I never knew that Molly Harris donated to me like that until I seen that paper.
So they was getting prepared to use their RICO statement on you then.
Yeah, they was looking for association or affiliation with R. Kelly to add me into his RICO.
Well, Shannon just dropped some news because I got to get up out of here, get my butt ready for bed. I do thank you for coming on. I was gonna come and get you anyway, because I need to know some more of how the live over there, respectfully. But
Friday, the shit that happened on All Access about to happen all over again on Friday on another big platform.
hey, can I get a little tip? Can you send me who?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you who it is. I'll send you who it is. But
Okay.
Friday it's about to be all over again.
Shannon said that they just hit Trump with the RICO, and Harlem said that, yeah. And how many you say, Harlem? 3 of R. Kelly. No, she says that R. Kelly, former publicist, is charged with 3 counts with Trump. He got hit with the RICO. Trump wants to run president. They fucking up
He said they said R. Kelly former publicist got charged with Trump.
with Trump. Yeah.
You talking about Daryl Johnson?
I think she didn't put the name in, but ain't
Mm.
he?
Yeah, man. I tried to tell these people one man ain't no criminal enterprise, and they let that shit explode into what it did. And now Young Thug facing it, wife and Lucci facing it, Casanova 2 times facing it, couple no name motherfuckers facing it, teenagers facing it, now the president.
Mhm.
I appreciate you for having me, one pal.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I love to laugh. I like you because you be having my jokes. I be tell me a joke. All time. Some shit I'm dead serious on it. And this is
September.
great. I really think after the all viral access live tonight, like the shit from what it should end. This is over. This is
Yeah, it's
on
over. But
hold.
they got to keep it going for 90 more days because that's when the government dismissing vacation might charge them.
Yeah, ladies say they is framing Trump too.
They lucky I'm scared to go out here and protest for motherfuckers. They might come after my ass. Otherwise I get out
Feel
there for Trump.
nervous? You are nervous to protest. You are.
Uh I
A
would
little
never
bit,
protest. I would never protest without a police escort. So as long
because
as I had a police
you're not
escort.
trusting. You're not trusting your government anymore right now. Or not that you probably ever have.
I
But
think that as long as I have the police escort, I have the right. But at the same time, I do think that I should record what's taking place, things of that nature, and screenshot the approval from the police department and things of that nature. Just receipts to any type of agreement when it comes to protests.
oh, okay, okay. Well, again, it's still free R. Kelly all day through all of this triumph that we
Indeed.
are enduring. It is, and
Yeah. And it's still
all of
man acts being committed every day.
every
God
day.
damn.
So,
Shit.
and I'm
I'm
gonna
about to fly out.
spray
I'm about to fly out.
on
Hey,
Jennifer
look.
Bundy.
I'm about to fly out Bozo accuser.
But
That's gonna be, yeah. I'm flying her out
there
for
you go, pissing the ball.
yeah. Hey, listen, I bullshit you not. I
uh,
bullshit you not. Before the end of the year, his accuser gonna be here filing charges against you for that incident, and we're gonna see about it. We're gonna see how that turned out. And Sarah Remy is going to be the main one. So when you in court talking about I did this to you and I did that to you, explain to Sarah Remy why you threatening her kids, because she
mhm,
ain't did shit to you,
all
and
right.
she got every right to file a report on her kids. So when you try to say, "Oh, I snitched on you," no, she snitched on you. Them her kids too.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be right behind her at
Yeah,
every
y'all
court
had
date.
We are Kelly all day, every day. Thank you. I hope we
Yeah,
can
free R.
come
Kelly. I'm
back
going to
on,
visit
come
him.
back. But
I'm going to visit him. I'm on the visiting list.
go
I'll
to
be
list
down there next
too.
week. Yeah, I'm down there next week, y'all.
I'm gonna
I'm
wait for the
gone.
concert. I'm gonna wait for the
No,
concert.
when I go down
Hey,
there, I'm gonna tell her. When I go down there, I'm gonna be like, man, one pap outside, let her in.
oh, no, 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 no.
Hey,
I
I just
just really wanted the concert.
and we got 100 book bags, man. Now I gotta pass these shits out. I thought I was gonna wait till the 25th, but I gotta kick this shit up faster because these kids going to school. So I'm about to start passing these book bags out. I got a lot of book bags. I thank everybody that donated to it. I didn't think it was gonna be 100 of them. I thought it would be 50.
That's what's up. I'm in town Saturday, so. But yeah, I gotta get my truck. Some done. I had my truck done too. Since it costs too much here, I gotta come there and get my shit worked out.
Man, when you out here, man, just hit me up. I'll pull up on
I
you.
will. And listen, because I want to bring my mods to support you, or listen to your next interview. So hit me up in privately. Let me know, before you go on, so we can get all up in the chili chat.
Indeed.
All right, talk to you. Yeah. All right, y'all. I enjoyed Scooby Doo. Did y'all enjoy? I enjoyed. You always have us on a A1 conversation pertaining to all of this stuff. And I gave you guys just how I felt why, I had to turn my eye away from the other guy. It's just too much shit in his game. It's just too much embellished shit in his game. Y'all know, it's like, nah, I can't get down with nothing like that. Now, had I good night, beautiful, had I'd have seen Scooby-Doo kind of doing the same thing, I'd have been like, no, I can't even do you. But I could see where all he was doing was putting triggering shit out here. Like, I'm gonna trigger you, I'm gonna say this on you, I'm gonna say this on you, I'm gonna say you. I'm like, but you know what? Hopefully, after the all access viral, maybe it could chill on it now. He put the paperwork up. He did that. Shout out to Beauty J putting up all those emojis. Yes. Shout out to everybody who joined the chat, even in the bushes. Appreciate you. Hit the like button. Don't forget to share the channel. As Shannon say, Pat was on her A1 tonight. But guess what? I gotta go to bed. I got priorities to do. Love y'all. Share the channel. If you have not became a member, go ahead, become a member. Support Paps Chat, Paps Live for $1.99 a month. The membership price will never change. I'll appreciate you. Gotta go. Talk later. Good night, Claudine. Thanks, lady. I know that's right, lady. We want to hear the next phase. Good night, y'all.